Yeah, how's it going? Nice to meet you. It sounds like someone told me you introed me on your stream. Could you tell my chat what you do, who you are, what you do?
Uh, what do I do, man? I'm trying to think what
The job interview, like, why are you the best for this job? I don't
um,
know.
I guess I do like cultural analysis. Like pop culture, internet culture, and then that's rooted in like philosophy, critical theory, and art history.
Okay,
Yeah. And then
awesome.
yeah, longer. I don't want to say I guess I'm sort of a video essayist now. Um, although I'm skeptical of the video essay niche, but I guess I'm sort of that's a catch-all term, right? If you're making like over videos over 20 minutes, you're a video essayist. But like, what? No one even scholars can't even define what like an essay is. You know, it's like just sort of any piece of text that's not a novel.
Yeah,
So I guess video essayist.
yeah. I watched your one on the Cybertruck and I liked it a lot. You said that in that video that you said it was like you edited that one more than your other ones, like that's overly edited in comparison, or is that true?
Yeah, that one was I'm trying to because I used to do a lot of like my earlier videos are still my earlier videos were all like really green screen heavy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Nakey Jakey?
Yes, yes. The guy who
Yeah.
sits on the ball, right?
Yeah. He was a huge inspiration when I started YouTube.
Oh hell yeah.
Um, so that was my early stuff. And then since then I've been trying to move to a bit more like cinematic, like filmmaking and away from the green screen. Although maybe that's not a good idea because the green screen stuff, whenever I do a green screen video, it does super well.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna
So
say like when I was watching that, I was just like so jealous of the aesthetic and the editing. Where I'm like, damn, I wish I had this kind of quality. But also like aesthetic wise, just like I don't like you got the glasses and the necklace. Like I feel like you're like modeling some sort of like avant garde clothing, and I'm like, damn, I'm over here in a bro tank and a dipshit hat, which is whatever. That's my brand. But
yeah.
you got to take me shopping when we hang out, is what I'm saying.
Well, it's funny because I'm not like a gear person at all. I've only ever used a DJI. This camera right here, a DJI Mimo Pocket 2, is the only camera I've ever used for any video. So it's just color grading. Like color grade, if you want some sick outdoor shots, color grade, and then just add like physical elements like black bars on the top and bottom of the screen, and like your shit just looks kino. It's like 5 minutes of work.
All right, for sure. I'll bring my laptop. You can show me how to do it in person. This actually does sound like it'll like there'll be like the art Chad inflection point of all of my videos where they suddenly just become way better.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but I think
So
wait. I want to say one nice thing about you again. Well, not one, only one, but one additional nice thing before we start, which was the fact that you had a segment where you were like, "Hey, this sponsor was going to give me money, and then it turns out they're a fucking terrible company. Go fuck themselves." Like that was so base, dude. Like I did the same thing for DraftKings, and I was like, I super respect the fact that you're like turning down money from people who do shitty products. So, mad respect for that.
yeah, how long have you because your channel's blown up. I'm trying to think when I came across you. I feel like maybe I might have been the Matt Walsh video.
Yeah, so like that was
Or
January and I was blowing up. I only started to get like even the ability to monetize, let alone blow up in November or October of last year. So it's been very, very recent. So
oh
like the
shit.
sponsors, I've been like talking with sponsors for like barely a couple months. It's very, very new to this.
Yeah, they suck. Um
Every single one of my sponsors specifically that give me money, each one of them sucks.
it's hard to I was talking to JJ McCullough about this.
Hmm.
Like the companies like they're except for okay, I appreciate like ground news. Like there's a few of the companies I actually like appreciate. But yeah, a lot of it's just like garbage and it's so much money that you have to like there's a point where you have to take it. Like I'll do if a VPN's gonna give me like, a couple grand, that's my income. Like I'm gonna take that, but it is really annoying with the dealing with companies and dealing with like I don't know the incongruencies of what you want and what they want, and then like you won't get renewals because they're like, oh, this didn't get a click through. I'm like, of course it didn't get a fucking click through. You gave me shitty advice.
Yeah,
So
no,
anyway,
exactly. Or like it's like, hey, like I tried to make a very personalized ad and you're like, no, you have to say it this way and like ruin your entire comedic voice. And it's like, oh, okay, but like people are not gonna watch it then. Like I'm telling you, they'll watch my ad if I do this. I just realized I'm streaming me in the Discord call, and I'm streaming your stream, which has me in the Discord call. Are you gonna switch it off of my face, or we should we should figure out a better setup? My stream looks so fucked right now.
What if I put you in the if I put on my stream? I put you in the corner like that.
Yeah, that'd probably be better, and then I can kind of crop it out or something. But yeah, everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" There, yeah, okay, we'll do that, and maybe all. Hmm.
You
So
go with my
silly.
there we go.
Yeah, or can you screen share your? That would be better. In Discord, can you screen share the tier list? That'd be awesome. And then I guess we'll just unfortunately not have to look at your beautiful face, but I think it'll be the best way to see it.
Create a stream that. Go live. Unlock. I don't have Nitro.
Yeah, perfect. Let's do that.
There we go.
Cool. All right, let's do it. Who are you ranking? These are the only ones we're ranking? Oh my god, can I do F for all of them? You don't even have an F tier.
Oh yeah, no, I gotta wait. Let me. How do I add? How do I add? No, how do I add here? F S D. We'll go. I never know how this website works. I could have prepared more.
It's fine. It's fine. We could do it in real time. As much effort as you put into this is going to be 10 times more than any of them put into anything in their life. So,
before we get started on this, what's your background? I'm interested in how you like your journey into making videos and then making the videos that you make and like the sort of the political perspective you've arrived at.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was just talking with Hutch earlier on stream and he asked the same question. So I semi-prepared for this, but not really. Essentially, I've like always been like politically minded, like wanting to make things better. Like ever since like growing up and seeing like, oh, other people like don't have it as nice as my life, which was pretty like cushy, not like rich, but like, you know, well off, good parents, stable house. And it's like, oh shit, like finding out like there's people starving, there's people impoverished, like there's people 10 miles away from my house that are homeless, like just down the street, and like how the fuck do I get to live the way I do and those people don't, and like just kind of wanted to rectify that. But in terms of streaming, I graduated college with aerospace and did that for 2 years and moved back to America from Germany to do software engineering. And then I was just like the whole time, like I started doing videos in like 2020, like while I was still in Germany during the pandemic. And I was like, I like this so much more. I like the engagement. I like talking about politics. This feels like a direct thing that I care about, that matters. And finally, like the algorithm picked up my channel, or I got the Soros bucks or whatever happened. Great. And I'm like, fucking wow. Like I got a sponsor. This is like the 1 month where I'm making close to as much money as I am at a like real job. And I can't fucking focus because all the shit that's happening to my friends and family, I'm quitting and I'm doing this full time. So like this year is like when I made the jump, like just in February. So yeah, that's kind of the short version of it, but there's a lot of ups and downs in between here and there. That's just the the highlights, I guess.
And wait, how much do people know about you? Like is like the city you live in?
Yeah,
Or like
I'm in the Bay Area. My name's Niels. You can call me Niels. And I'm assuming you'll call me Niels if we ever make more content together. Don't. So calling me Soy is fine, but like it's just like it sounds weird because I'm not used to, like it's not me. It's my moniker, right? I don't know. Can I call you your? I can call you your name, right? Are we allowed to?
Yeah. Everyone knows my name.
Guys. Okay, this is the chattest name ever. His name's Brogan. Okay, what the fuck? That's so cool. Like,
yeah, that's from fucking.
How can anyone compete?
I'm from Nova Scotia, and my parents are both like a Scottish Irish background for generations. So they just they picked up. It's there's like some weirder Gaelic names if you go out to Nova Scotia and Cape Breton.
Yeah,
it's like an island in the east coast of Canada. So yeah, it's more common. Well, not common, but it's not unheard of over there.
That's so cool.
It's not like a hippie name. It's not like a hippie new age name or anything.
But it sounds like you should have a friend named Thad and like Chuck, you know, like Brogan, Thad, like, you know, you're in a frat and you have the aesthetic of it too, like, you know, just the like whatever, man, like I'll get it done, like you know what it is. Like it just fits so perfectly. And you lift, which is just like obviously, how could you not with a name like that?
I used to lift more. I'm jealous of I noticed when I like my channel, I started doing this like full-time hours probably like last like October 2023. And up until that point, I was in the gym 6 days a week for like years. Yeah. And then since that, I've been like, I'm lucky if I'm like 2 or 3 times a month.
Damn.
I'm pretty I'm not like I stay like healthy, like physically healthy, but I'm totally out of shape.
I don't know if that's true. I saw a picture of you smoking a cigarette on Instagram today.
I'm still broad. I'm broad, but I'm pudgy. I've put on a few pounds, and
Listen,
yeah.
I don't know if JJ's told you. By the way, like the way I have expanded into the JJ trickle down like content nomics is I'm very much a fan. I like all the little network he's building, the Canadian network. But I will say this: JJ and I at VidCon are going to be sober, so you're going to have to deal with some boring old men. I hope that's okay.
Oh, you don't drink?
Fuck yeah, let's go. If we can get you to quit smoking, you're in my perfect sober wheelhouse.
I only I smoke. I smoke infrequently. I do drink a lot though. That is my main vice. I like drinking too much.
Wait, didn't you just say I don't drink? Were you fucking with me?
Oh no, I said you don't drink. I was like, oh, you don't. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't drink. Yes, I sometimes drink, but very infrequently. And yes, chat, I am named after Niels Bohr. My parents are chemists, so
Yeah.
which is weird because it's the Danish spelling and I'm German, so really fucked that one up. Cool. So how are we rating these assholes? What's going on here?
Well, I want to add a few more.
Yes, absolutely. I would say you gotta throw some of these new ones in. So like Riley Gaines, you gotta throw Brett Cooper in there. I would say maybe let's see. You got Charlie Kirk. Who are some of these new little fuckers? Chat, help me like remind me of all the people that trigger me because these are like the classic from like 2016 onwards. There's like I don't know if you've seen this, Brogan, but there's like a like cavalcade of like Matt Walsh clones. Like they all look like 2016 hipsters from the Bay Area, but somehow they're like right-wing conservative trad cons. And they're not Matt Walsh, but they all look and are worse than him. Like he's been splitting into little dudes, I guess. So we do maybe you add them in there, like or it's like a group photo of all like 6 of them.
Wait, Riley Gaines.
Riley Gaines, yeah. Are you familiar with her?
Riley Gaines.
You got some cool ones here. Bill Maher's not right wing enough, even though he's a dumbass. But yeah, Michael Knowles for sure. Russell Brand, I would say for sure, and then Candace Owens. Those are 3 that are definitely sorely missing from here.
Michael, what was it?
Knowles, Knowles.
Michael Knowles.
Yeah.
Why does this guy look familiar?
He came to talk at Berkeley, and I just like stormed into his Q&A. So that was interesting. I now knowing the Q&A process, what they do is they like won't let you hold the mic, so it's not a back and forth. It is very much a like, all right, like say your thing, and as soon as we think you maybe make a more salient point, we're gonna rip the mic away so you can't respond to Michael Knowles' 6-minute rant about how being gay is bad or whatever. You know, it's so awful. Yeah, those people are real not good people. Just like even like the weird like sliminess of like, hey, like we like the way you talk. Do you want to come on to the after show? And then like very clearly like trying to make people look stupid doing that. It's like, oh god, you're like trying to content farm college students, but you don't know I'm not a college student. Oh yeah, Tucker Carlson's not up here, dude.
Tucker's there.
He is? Where's Tucker? Oh, okay, there he is. He's between Alex and Steven. Yeah, sometimes he kind of blends in when he's just like a like, doesn't he kind of look like a Pokemon evolution of Charlie Kirk there, where it's just like a weird, creepy smile behind like the CPAC aesthetic?
Yeah, he doesn't have the fucking. Charlie's got that tooth thing.
Oh, that tooth. Yeah, there's a reason he doesn't show teeth a lot. Yeah, 100%.
Gotta find like
Oh, you put Sneeko on there. That's a good one. Does Kanye count? Can we put him on here?
We could put Kanye on there.
Yeah. Well, you think he'll come after us? Does he? I'm Jewish, for full disclosure. I don't know if you want to associate with me. So.
Oh God, I'd keep that to yourself.
Yeah. Shh. Hey, quiet down. You know how they feel about us. Are you? I'm not like I don't know if Gino is the proper term, but I'm like only Jewish by like technical blood. But I saw your cross. Are you like religious or?
Yeah, I've started going to. It's one of those things I would never. It's very idiosyncratic. I think it's more just like an interest in. Okay, I think like my relationship with religion is like Jordan Peterson's. If Jordan Peterson didn't try to argue with it, like the Jubilee thing was a fucking disaster. I totally understand his perspective and on how he arrived there with like the archetypes and like the Bible stories, and that's why I go. And like I go to Catholic church, and I just go for like the sort of like community, like meditative aspect of it.
Interesting.
But
okay.
It's one of those things I wouldn't do apologetics. I'm not like reading the Bible or doing like Bible study or anything.
Gotcha. Oh, Bluesby. Oh, hold on. Apparently, there's some sound things. Apparently, you're too loud on my end. I think that's me though. Do you want me to turn him down? Chat ones if he needs to be turned down. Otherwise, Bluesby, shut up. I love you. Uh, but yeah, okay, wait. You got Kanye, you got Sneeko. I was gonna say, should we put on like some of the weirder ones, like Nick Fuentes, like the far
Oh
rightist, or is this just
yeah,
the conservative grift? Okay, everyone's
yeah.
saying one. I'm gonna turn you down a little on my end, but I'll still be able to hear you. Let me know if
Yeah,
this is good, guys.
Fuentes is a good one.
Oh, maybe that's too much. Let's go
I'm
to
just,
80. I was gonna say,
yeah,
did you meet? I know PF Young did Horseshoe. Was that with you too?
yeah.
Are you and PF Young sort of aligned on the like the excuse me, Jordan Peterson kind of not apologia, but like the old Jordan Peterson niceness,
I'd say yeah,
nostalgia, Jordan Petersonologia. I don't know. There's a term there somewhere.
yeah. I'd align with that. Like 12 Rules for Life. I was just the perfect. Are we the same age? I'm 27. I just turned 27.
29, so pretty close.
Yeah, yeah. I was like when I read 12 Rules for Life, it had just come out. I had just heard of Peterson, and I heard of Peterson because of his like lectures. It wasn't from the bill C11 or whatever. I forget the bill.
C16.
C63. 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't through that stuff, and I was just very interested in like his lectures. And
If
then
I do the impression and just say like not stupid Jordan Peterson things and progressive ideology, will you come more close to my side and think Jordan Peterson's dumb? Can I just win you over like that? I'm just like pay higher taxes, Bucko.
that's a good one. The bloody bleeding, bloody higher taxes.
That's pretty good too, but you're Canadian. You're kind of cheating, right?
Yeah, he actually I can walk by his house in Toronto. It's funny, his house, the street he lives on in Toronto, all the houses look the exact same except his house has like a wizard's tower on it.
He would absolutely do that.
Yeah, no,
That's where he ponders. That's where he goes up there and he thinks about the Dragon of Chaos.
It's sort of like watching your dad get Alzheimer's. Like I have a lot of affinity for old Jordan Peterson, but he's been lost for a bit. I still I don't know. I saw him live for 2 years ago, and it was a very moving. Like he didn't bring anything like culture war into the lecture at all. It was just about like Bible stories. I found it like very compelling. He's a very good speaker. I think like him presenting as an educator about like Jungian archetypes or the Bible is like peak Jordan. Anything outside of that, he's just fucking like his brain's falling out of his ears.
I can believe you. I just care so little about that stuff in and of itself that even if he is good at it, I wouldn't find it interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. We got three more suggestions I think are worth putting on here. Jesse Lee Peterson. Do you know who that is?
The old black guy.
Yeah, the old black guy. And then Blair White and Russell Brand, I think, are definitely are part of our tier list.
Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yeah.
Okay.
JLP. Who apparently, oh man, I'm so happy. People might not know this, but Type 1 to end the deep state is not an original Soy Pill phrase. It is stolen from a random Jesse Lee Peterson fan that I just randomly click on a stream and someone was just spamming that in chat, and it was the funniest fucking thing to me, and I've been saying it ever since. So I did not invent that. Yeah, Type 1 to end the deep state. Like, it was just so hilarious, the concept of like, one, that you believe in this like deep cabal of people that is threatening the country and controlling everything from behind the scenes, but two, that you think by typing one you're stopping it. Like, it just fucking killed me. I couldn't believe it. So it's yes guys, it is amazing. I don't know enough about Fresh and Fit to put them on here. Kievian nationalist enjoyer, oh my god, I hope that's ironic.
So I got Russell
Brand, Jesse Lee Peters, and then Blair White. Did you put her on?
Blair White, yeah. I'll add her.
Some people are naming some people that I'm like, you're making this up. There's no way these are real. It's Emmareal Lasagna. It's like, what? No, shut up. That's not a real person. If I don't know who they are, then they're not big enough, because I watch a lot of right-wing media, all right?
Okay, one second. Let me just pop these on.
Donald Trump's not a pundit, chat. Come on, Koa girl. That's not a pundit.
Russell, Blair, and Jesse.
All right.
There we go. Added. Okay.
Okay. I think this is good. I think this is good. Except the only question I have is, who's this guy in the top left? I have like the first picture. Who is that?
Oh, that's Patrick Bet David.
Oh, okay. I didn't recognize him with the clean cut, but I do know who that is. All right, got it. All right. So yeah. Before we start, how do we categorize these? Because if I might even categorize these as like as how entertaining they are, right? Like there's like obviously like who's actually like the least bad of a human being. Or are we just kind of taking everything in totality into account and just kind of aggregating it into a letter ranking?
I think yeah, leaning towards a vibe. Um, a big thing, like as far as quality of character, I think like how much they are convicted in their own beliefs matters to like you know when it comes to like Peterson again as an example because I'll run it like a tiny bit of defense.
Okay.
He believes what he's saying, and he doesn't like as captured as he is. I don't think he's actively. He's not being like, "Ooh, I'm gonna like make a bunch of money as long as I stay with this line." I think he's just like so convicted in his beliefs, like in a schizophrenic way.
I
So
I don't necessarily disagree. I don't think that means he wouldn't go for the money. You know, like he did the Daily Wire deal, and like he absolutely is living well off of his grift. But again, to call it a grift would imply that he doesn't truly believe it. And you're right. I think he is genuinely that broken in his brain. So
yeah,
yeah, genuine, and like how genuine one of these people are. Like, someone asked me who's the most genuine right wing commentator, and I said Marjorie Taylor Greene because I truly think she believes what she's saying. Like, absolutely, like lies the least out of these people. So yeah, that's definitely part of the ranking for sure. And then obviously comedy. Some of these people are hilarious. Some of them are boring. And yeah, and like how much they're genuine, how much they're grifting is, I guess, the opposite side of that spectrum. And then like also just yeah, just overall quality, aesthetic, like what their actual content is. Like some of it, like I can at least hate watch, but some of it's just dog water, like poorly edited, poorly put together crap. So I think we got a lot of criteria here. We can aggregate them all. Oh, Dave Rubin. Can we put Dave Rubin on here? I think Dennis Prager might as well be dead, Jake and Bake, so we're not going to put him on.
Dave Rubin.
Jimmy Dore,
Um,
I don't watch Fred Skull. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I had I met Lauren Southern briefly one time. We hung out for a few hours.
I'm sorry.
Did you ever watch that Atlantic documentary on her?
I think I did actually, because my friend met her at one of the protests in Berkeley, and they hung out or whatever. And so like I've like had a backdoor into her reality for a while, and it is very weird knowing what she says out loud and knowing kind of what her real views are, which are not one to one. But what about the documentary?
Well, I met her. I think it was after this documentary came out because I remember watching that, and like they really do a good job of making you feel like the part where she does. Oh, we could add Gavin McInnes, but I don't know if he's like relevant anymore.
He's not really. Same with Milo, but Joe Rogan, I guess you could throw up there. Even though, like, I don't know if you can technically call him right wing. At the very least, he endorsed Trump and voted for him. So, like, we can put him on for now. He's a lint roller, as Chapo Trapos likes to put it. And so, at the current moment, he's lint rolled Trump up and become a right wing pundit. But who knows? He'll become left wing in like 2 years when AOC like flashes him her feats or whatever. So,
Joe. Anyway, yeah, but meeting Lauren, she was quite kind and very like normal to talk to. But yeah, that documentary, like that part where she does Gavin's show, and then the next morning she's driving back to the airport, and Gavin McInnes is spam calling her, begging her to come back because he wanted to fuck her so bad.
oh my god,
And then
really?
the documentary pivots from like following Lauren Southern to just her being like, "Oh, I'm only in this position because like
People
all
want to
these
fuck me.
podcast hosts want to fuck me,"
That's so
and just
sad.
watching her get disillusioned with the whole like media sphere. But
What did she? Was
yeah,
she the one who wrote an article that was like right wing people treat women like crap or something? I don't know if that was her, but there was some article that came out like that. It's like this one of these like stupid trad wife people comes out and is like, "Oh my god, everyone hates me because of like who I am and my gender. Like I can't believe I've been professing this for 10 years." It's so like I hate when bad things happen to people, but man, it's very satisfying watching the leopards eat their face, you know?
yeah. I mean, she's off social media entirely now because we tried to get her on the podcast because JReg is still like they're still mutuals, and she
Yeah.
was like, "I'm not doing anything. Like I refuse to do anything. I'm just taking like an infinite or indefinite hiatus from anything social media related."
Yeah, I would also disappear if I was that big of a piece of shit. So, um,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. When you,
All
when
right,
you
we got a
like,
good.
just to be clear, by the way, I don't know how much you know, but like when you are associating with like Identity Europa, like neo Nazis, like I'm like, yeah, you're a terrible person. Sorry. So that's my stance on
Yeah,
that.
and the protesting the Doctors Without Borders.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, or like firing flares at migrant boats and shit like that. Like, yeah, she's just not a good person. So,
yeah, she had some rough. She had some fucking. God, man, it's so crazy how like how audience capture you, how like just swept up. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm giving her, I'm assigning too much of a lack of agency to her because I want to
Well,
see the best in people. But
but and you've
yeah,
met
it's
her. Like
fucked up.
I do want to clear this up too, because you've met her and you've seen her, and I'm sure she's not like this, like hand wringing, like yes, and then we will kill the brown people. You know, like it's crazy when you meet these people. They're like amicable, like nice people, and that's why like I really don't like the idea when we like look at history and we say like, oh, like the Nazis were monsters, and it's like, well, no, actually they were just like normal people, unfortunately, and like they were just very ideologically captured into a point where they said, oh yeah, no, it's cool that we're doing all this evil stuff, and to like paint them as like oh yeah, they were born these like poison people, kind of feeds into that narrative when you meet them and you're like, oh no, they're totally normal. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, they're totally normal, and they want to do horrible, awful things. Like, so, but hey, I don't know, maybe we can fix her. My friend might be able to fix her. We'll see.
I mean, yeah, that's Hannah Arendt's the banality of evil, right? Which is,
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, her whole thesis is that to paint them as evil people does an injustice to how evil actually works, and it's sort of like doesn't give you the proper guardrails to defend against bad ideas. You need to see them as normal people to like understand how evil truly works.
Yeah, which is funny too, because like I love that that's her thesis, and I completely agree. But then there's the quote from Adolf Eichmann that's like, "I will go into my grave with joy, knowing I slaughtered thousands of people." Essentially, and it's like, wow, that's like after all of that we just said, you come out and are just like, "Hello, I am ontologically evil, and I love killing," and it's just like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
all right, let's get
Let's see.
started. Let's fucking rank these
Yeah.
assholes. All right, so we're just gonna go left or right?
Yeah, let's go. Let's start with Patrick. Patrick Bet David.
All right. So I think he's not faking being as slow as he is when I see him make really dumb arguments, but I think he's like libertarian business brained. Like he just is like, you'll make like a very salient points, like maybe a Sam Cedar or a David Pakman will go on and explain the nuances of an economic principle, and Patrick Bet David will be like, okay, but picture this. I have two houses, and one of them's filled with $10 million, and the other one doesn't have any money in it. Would you not go for the house with $10 million in it? And like that's how he views the world in these like incredibly like unnuanced like hypotheticals. So I would give him a C personally. You don't have to put him there yet, but I'm curious on your thoughts. Just as like my reason for that is he's boring, he's not particularly entertaining, and he's just like boring stupid. Like he's not evil, he's not like doing fun quotes, like he's not fun to impersonate. He's just like a like kind of this libertarian dunce.
Yeah, I'd align with that. I'd put him in like the Tate sphere, because it seems like that's when, yeah, like Andrew Tate's popularity gave rise to this new type of influencer, or like put the spotlight on this new type of influencer. But yeah, that's like sort of more business oriented, but like incidentally right wing, and like the right wing like holds on to them and captures them, but they're still, yeah, more like this guy. I don't know. I could see the different universe, him just not being politically oriented at all.
Yeah, no,
If that
exactly.
wasn't like part of it.
Although Chad is telling me, and I don't know if this is true, I believe them though, that he's an MLM guy. Like he has a multi-level marketing scheme. Is that, do you know about that?
Oh, I've read this. I've read this. I've seen this. I don't. It might just be. Let me see. Let me do a quick search on this.
Yeah. This, we do have to fact check our tier list, guys. We can't just go based on vibes.
MLM. Patrick Bet David.
Yeah. If there's a Wikipedia section on MLM, it's just his insurance company that he sold was a multi-level marketing scheme, allegedly. Valuetainment fraud.
Right link vitamin podcast, high profile interviews. This is has been.
No, David. Ethan Klein is not a right wing.
It's essential to approach his content and business practices before getting involved in any businesses, especially MLMs. I'm just vibe wise, I'm assuming they mean sort of like how Andrew Tate's Hustler.
Yeah, like something like that.
Right.
But and that's the thing is like, do we save D tier then for like an or F tier for like an Andrew Tate who's like, oh, you're sex trafficking women? Which, by the way, I guess we should put Andrew Tate on here, who I believe got charged in the UK today.
Yeah, he did. He got charged in the UK today.
So like,
I'll throw Tate on there.
Maybe we can leave him and see, and as we see where the worsts come in, we can maybe move him around. You know.
Yeah, let me throw. I'll do the Tate brothers.
The Tate brothers,
Same
yeah.
person.
Which, I don't like that they have to associate themselves with each other because Tristan Tate, absolutely fits the aesthetic. He's a very attractive man. But Andrew Tate looks like a Wojak. And it's sad that like one of them like kind of fits the whole like MLM manosphere thing and the other one like says all the things but looks like such a dork. It's very strange.
Yeah, I'll go see. I agree. I'll go see with David. I don't really think about him very often.
I
he's
don't
not
think
that.
about you tier, yeah.
I think there's like a danger to society aspect as well.
Yes,
That's
yes.
part of the vibrating, and like he doesn't strike me as someone who's particularly. Oh no, he's a JQ guy though. A little bit. He
Oh
keeps having
yeah?
Dan Bilzerian on. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
he's a JQ guy now,
Uh-oh. Okay.
or at least platforming it.
Let's do this. Because of the MLM and platforming the JQ and not pushing back, we'll put him in D. And if there are worse people that don't necessarily are so bad to be an F, but belong in D, then we can move him up to a C. All right? How about that? Okay, awesome. Sounds good. Elon Musk. Okay, first of all, other than like I'm sure maybe you've seen my recent video. Your recent video was on Elon to a degree and the Cybertruck. This guy's got to be F tier for me because not only is he just like a terrible human being with all the cuts and the stuff that he's done in government recently, like that might amount to like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of deaths across the planet, fucking over like so many people in my country and other countries. He's so lame. He's not funny.
Yeah.
He's not charismatic. He's not like it's not fun to impersonate him. Like there's nothing there. Like I can't think of a redeeming quality of him in the same way I could like at least Ben Shapiro's like a dorky little like roller backpack kid that you can like make fun of, but this guy's just nothing. He's just nothing. He's so like and the fact that he wants to be makes it so much worse that I'm like you just suck, like absolutely F. Like even the things that I like, which are like, oh, like I like the concept of electric vehicles, even if maybe in the long run they're not efficient, or I like the concept of colonizing space as a not as an alternative to Earth, but like as a let's get us closer to Star Trek. But like even that doesn't even come close to like just how awful he is in every other aspect. So I'd give him an F. But what do you think?
I would agree 100%. I think Elon's it's a generational fall off. Like you see a fall off like this like once every 20 years. It's insane that he went from being like in fucking Iron Man and Big Bang Theory and like just ubiquitously seen as like this cool like one of the coolest people alive.
Pop culture Tony Stark for sure. Like everyone loved him. It was like, oh, he's saving the planet.
And now he's sort of like there's a good argument to make. He's like one of the most hated people in America.
Yeah.
From everybody. I mean, did you see all the Republican town hall meetings in like?
Yes, yeah. Even the Republicans don't like him. That's what's so crazy is he's so unlikable. He wants to be liked so bad, and even the people that like voted for his agenda essentially are like, wait a minute, I've heard this guy talk for 10 minutes. I hate him. Like that's how bad he sucks. He can't like no. The only people who like them seem to be the ones like currying his favor, and it seems like they're faking it too. Like them and like maybe like Indian tech guys. I've met a lot of Indian tech guys who like just don't care about politics at all. Are just like, oh yeah, cool, SpaceX, that's it. Like those are really the only people I find.
Yeah, there's not a single redeeming quality about this man anymore. I don't know. It's this is one of the in my streams I've talked like ad nauseum about how much I just fucking hate Elon Musk. So I have like, I'm sure we agree on all the perspectives, but yeah, just a definite F tier.
Definite F.
Such a strong F. Well, I'm one of the strongest Fs alive right now.
Maybe should he get his own tier? E.
E? Yeah. I feel like who's gonna? No one's gonna be S tier.
I disagree, and I won't say who, but there's absolutely gonna be an S tier for sure.
Okay.
I have at least one guy in mind for S tier, maybe more. All right. And it's not just like oh, someone said X tier. Maybe should you put him in X tier? Yeah, let's go. That's great. He loves that fucking letter. So I like the fact that he switched it to Twitter. Like I always thought was bad, but knowing now that it was like his baby since like 20 years ago, been trying to do it for so long is so funny. Absolutely funny. Like it's like, oh, you've just been trying to make this happen, and you just had to spend $44 billion to try to do it.
Did you see that story that came out about like when he worked for PayPal? He would like request that he could adjust the code. They would give him like copies of the code. So he couldn't make any changes. And then when he requested the actual code, they added a keylogger. So when he was done, they just undid everything he did.
No, but I'd believe it. That's so funny. Holy shit. All right, it's like giving. I think I've said this before. It's like giving your brother the unplugged controller. Like it's like, all right, go ahead, buddy. Like you're really killing those bad guys. Oh
That's so.
god.
I cannot think like the amount of
Horror I would personally feel, like the existential dread I would feel if I was Elon Musk, and just knowing that like that was the man I became. And there's
Yeah.
like there's no way to correct it. Like you're that for the rest of your life. Like you'll die being this sort of figure.
That's what's crazy to me is like, look, if me and Elon Musk switch bodies today, like how much good I could do in an hour. Like just telling people, like putting out a message, like saying, "Hey, I was wrong about all this, and I think we need to do this now." Like start spending my money on like humanitarian things. Like he could absolutely 180 this and come back if he like was a completely different person, but he can't, right? Like he is ideologically so like starred for like the love of the public that he will absolutely never do that. Even though it would be so funny, people would love him for it. He could have everything he wanted if he was just a good person. It's crazy. That's what's so funny to me. Like he has the ability. He's just like physically is incapable of doing good things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, where's the Elon Musk hospital wing, right? Like all this shit that like billionaires or like the rich used to do. Now they don't do. Yeah, there's no Jeff Bezos hospital, right? There's no Jeff Bezos airport or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Although
it's fucking
Amazon, I
insane.
will say at least about Amazon or like Google, I don't know if there's like a Google billionaire equivalent, but like they do a lot of good stuff, and Amazon Web Services does good stuff. But you just never attribute that to them, right? Like you're never like, ah, yeah, Jeff Bezos, the guy that enabled Amazon Web Services to make like tech companies around the world better. It's just, hey, Jeff Bezos, the fucking shitty guy who's like, destroying our like our all our cheap crap industry and then shipping it everywhere. So it is weird. Like some things can be good about some of these people. I guess also I'm brain broken by Elon Musk, where like in comparison, I'm like, well, at least Jeff Bezos like isn't Elon Musk.
Yeah, he's doing something, creating value in the world. Although yeah, Tesla, I don't know. Tesla was cool for a bit. It just that's the thing too. Fuck, you could just keep going, right? He was the clean energy guy, and like he was platforming himself as like ideologically clean energy, and now he's like part of the fucking oil and gas regime.
Yeah.
Like all that, anything he said about green energy or the environment just goes out the window because he
He's been
obviously like
trying
didn't believe in
again.
any of that to begin with.
He's been saying green energy
Went
stuff
back.
again. I think he is trying to pivot. He's trying to pivot back. Like, oh guys, remember I like solar power. Like, oh god. But we could talk about Elon all day. Maybe we shouldn't have even included him because like I said, I have Elon derangement syndrome. But all
I
right.
do
So
too.
are we on? We're on Charlie Kirk. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a hard one because in terms of like harm, I think he spreads horrible ideas. But he's also like we talked about the genuine factor, right? He is absolutely like one of the most like unapologetic, like I'm lying to your fucking face and I'm gonna do my smarmy little toothy grin at you, knowing that you know that I'm lying. Bullshit. And my best example of this is the recent one where Elon did the Nazi salute on stage, and someone's like, "Oh, you think it's not a Nazi salute? Like, go ahead and do it, Charlie." And I don't know if you can see my camera, but he goes, "Yeah, see, he would, my heart goes out to you," and he did like the palm up sort of thing, and it was like, "Fuck you,
Oh
dude.
god.
You know what he fucking did, and you won't do it." Like that sort of like disingenuity is palpable with Charlie Kirk. Plus, he's spreading all just the worst right wing ideas, and in our colleges with TPUSA. So and on top of all that, not funny, not particularly fun to make fun of unless you're drawing him. He's like not an interesting accent or anything. Like the anti-college warrior for someone who never went to college. Yes, chat also pointed out the dolphin fetus guy, the guy who's like, yes, I will defend this, is a human being, but it was a dolphin fetus. I would say F. I would honestly say F because there's not like enough redeemable qualities in him to make him like at least fun to make fun of. But that's my opinion. Do you think we should rank him higher or lower than that?
I think that's a good characterization. I think I'd agree. I'd agree with F. He's I can't get over the fact that like in my first year, so my first year of university 9 years ago, I was like I went to an art school. I went to a fine art school. I have like a fine arts with I did painting, and I had this like turn to the right wing when I was like 17, 18 because I was like, oh, I'm the only like rational person in my fucking like liberal arts program. Like I was just one of those guys. And I would watch Charlie Kirk videos when he was arguing with 18-year-olds and just like owning them because they can't make good arguments because they're fucking children.
Yeah.
And just seeing like a decade later, you go to his YouTube channel and it's the exact same videos for that long. And people still fucking like look at that as if he is like an intelligent person when he's just, arguing with people who don't have like the life experience to make a good argument most of the time, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's I don't know.
It's frustrating too because when I was at the Michael Knowles one where he was trying to do that with college students, there were a couple people there that were making really good arguments against him, and they did the thing where they kind of rip the mic away, and then he'll like try to pick apart like a very specific thing they said instead of addressing the actual argument, and it was absolutely ridiculous. Like, 'cause knowing that like even in that with the context you just said, where these people are inexperienced, sometimes they do get the better of them, and they have to like kind of like cheat to make it look worse, which is so fucked. But yeah, no, he's just so lame. He's also very lame. Just not Elon Musk lame. Lame enough though.
Yeah.
Definitely. Might I make a suggestion? So we're putting a bunch of people in the very negative categories, and chat's like, how's anyone going to get higher than a D? I would like to propose that next we do Kanye West. First, I'd like to hear what you have to say, and then I'll make my case for Kanye West.
Fuck, man. I feel bad for Kanye sometimes, and then sometimes I don't at all. I think that he hits the nail on the head with like shock humor too often.
Yeah.
It's so redundant. I mean, I would say the same about like someone like Sam Hyde a little bit, although Sam Hyde's like way more self-aware and just like
much
audience
more
captured.
clever. He's not nearly so clever as Sam Hyde for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I can't say this, so I'm gonna say it, and it's like not. It's not particularly interesting or clever or revolution. Like there's no way in which it's redeeming. But then there's things where I'm like, fuck, actually this is so ridiculous
that it's
like
funny.
did you see his choir holding hands and singing Hail Hitler around P. Diddy's star?
Yes. Like
I'm like, fuck, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so where would you put him on this, given all that?
Man, I don't know. I like his music a lot.
He did make Homecoming, to be clear, and he made HH.
Yeah.
I would put him.
I want to hear you.
I would put him in at least if not S tier, and I'll tell you why. I think obviously his rhetoric is extremely harmful, right? Like he is out there, Nazi posting. He's saying, "Oh, Jewish conspiracies," and as a Jewish man, somehow this makes me not at all uncomfortable, especially having heard a lot of Nazis on the internet, right? Look, Kanye West, obviously music I very much enjoy. But then also something about, like you said, even the most hateful things he does are so ridiculous and over the top that like I can't help but laugh at them, and they make me happy. Like every time I hear a new thing about Kanye where he's like, hey, like Kanye's JQ posting, and he's like that. What was the one you said where he's like, oh, I can't say this, and then says it, where he's like, I can't tell you what kind of doctor he was. He was a Jewish doctor. Like that's hilarious. That's so fucking funny. And like it doesn't matter to me insofar as like the harm he's causing is probably bad. Like he's hanging out with people that are influencing young men. He's a huge influencer, like billionaire guy, and he's putting out songs that are going to make people like, that song is catchy, all right? Like I found myself humming the Heil Hitler song to myself on accident. And I'm like, whatever, it's catchy. But it's spreading anti-Semitism for sure. It's not good. So I'm not going to say that like this is a good thing, but there's so much to like, whether it's ironic or unironic, whether it's his good music, whether it's how bad he is at being a hateful human being, or making a song about sucking his cousin's dick or whatever. Like I can't not be happy that this man continues to entertain me in so many ways, and he's at least an A for me, if not an S, just on the basis of that. It's so fucking funny.
I think it's funny seeing him hang out with Neon and Sneeko, because the juxtaposition of like that's the highlight of Neon and Sneeko's life is the fact they're hanging with Kanye West. But then for Kanye, that's the lowest point of his life.
Yeah,
it's the fact he's hanging with fucking Neon.
Yes, and it's someone I remember someone posted like, "Whoa, Sneeko's really made it. He's hanging out with Kanye," and I'm like, no. It's more like like Kanye is so fucking fallen that he used to be like at the biggest celebrity parties on the planet, and now he's hanging out with some dipshit manosphere streamer that no one knows. Like that's hilarious. Yeah. So yeah, my vote is at least A, if not S, just because he made Homecoming. I mean, come on.
I would get A for me would be the benefit of the doubt that he is self-aware.
Oh, well, that's
I
the
would
thing is
put him.
he's genuine too, right? I think he believes every single thing he said, even if he is trying to be provocative. He's very clearly like you said, he needs help. It's not like I'm a grifting. It's like man is effed in the head and has been for like 20 years. So
I'll go A. I'll
all right, we'll put him in.
I'll
A. Yeah,
I'll,
you
I'll,
don't want to be
I'll
on
concede the A
record.
for
You don't
that.
want to be on record saying he's in the S tier Kanye. All right. Well, I just realized like I was so subconsciously not thinking we were gonna put anyone in S that I cropped out the S tier on my stream. I was like, "There's no way." Not oh, 'cause someone says Kanye should be SS tier. What do you think about
Oh
that?
fuck that. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. Well, I like.
Then
I
we
like
can put him
breaking-
in.
Add a row above. Yeah, I like breaking the format a little bit.
Let's go. Oh wait, does it still fit? Okay, it still fits on screen. We're good.
SS tier. We'll make that pink. I gotta change this one back to what was this? Yellow. What color was the S? Fuck.
Okay, triple M in my chat.
S tier.
Triple M in my chat is saying sincerity is irrelevant. If you do a fascism, it doesn't matter what's in your heart. Yeah. I like it doesn't matter that Kanye doesn't actually probably hate Jews. But what I'm saying is this is not a tier of like who we think is the best person. This is just our subjective enjoyment tier list of like which of these people is the best. But this is like most polished turd tier list, right? Okay, like none of these people are getting our endorsement for being an S or A tier. This is just less shitty. Okay. Just to be clear
Okay,
to
wait.
everyone.
Matt Walsh. Matt, was that your? No, Elon was your most recent one. Matt Walsh was the.
I put one out
that's
in
the-
January, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah, go ahead. I was talking a lot. What are your thoughts on
Matt
that?
Walsh has gotten weird recently. I'm sort of surprised. He seemed to be towing the like normie boomer right wing conservative line for a bit, and now his tweets are fucking insane.
Oh yeah.
He seems to be like he seems like to me like a genuinely hateful person. Like
Yes,
just hate in
yes.
his heart.
Yes. So like on the genuine scale, I would say he is one of the more like mask off genuine. I am a theocratic fascist. I do hate trans people. I do have disdain for the left. And I mean, just today he mocked a suicide of like a trans person. Like just to like
Yeah, I saw that.
like and not even like like here's the thing. I think nothing is above being made fun of. And I've heard funny jokes about like the worst things in the world. And like that's not what this is, because when you see the jokes from these people, it's very clear the intent is not like a play on words. It's not like a shock, like subversion of expectations. It's just haha, I'm happy you're dead, and that the joke to them is like, oh, I'm disparaging people I don't like. It's like a bully punching a kid and laughing about it, and the joke is like haha, I win. It's just gross. He's just like a disgusting person.
Yeah,
I
second that.
And he's boring. He's fucking like he's not Ben Shapiro. At least Ben Shapiro is like educated and like can try to like articulate an idea. Like this guy, his commentary is like guy on a couch who smoked a bunch of weed and like is trying to do like some sort of like profound point, but he's talking slow, like he had a a salient, very thoughtful message, but it's really just like you saying something stupid very stoically. I've tried watching his show and it's just so unentertaining for even people that like what he has to say, in my opinion. So I just say like, and trying to dip into comedy and just being horribly unfunny, like just irredeemably bad person and also stupid and also unfunny and not entertaining. I guess genuine. I guess he genuinely does believe all the things he says, but I'm gonna put him in the same tier as Charlie Kirk. I would say F, honestly.
No, yeah, same. It's disturbing. He out of all the ones who are huge, right? Because Matt Walsh is mainstream.
Yeah.
Like his podcast is, I think, is a top 10 or like a top 20 podcast.
Yeah, and he got invited to the White House, right? Or at least the inauguration.
Yeah, I mean, no, he was there with at the congressional address. He was there with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
They're both in the stands. And his audience too, where it's like you look at someone like Kanye or Nick Fuentes or Sneeko or someone, right? It's younger men. It's people who don't have a lot of capital in the world.
Yeah.
I feel like Matt Walsh's audience is like, grown like 40, 50-year-old year-old dudes. And that's way more frightening that those people are getting influenced by this fucking guy. But yeah, he just seems like an angry, spiteful, hateful person. I agree. I agree with F 100%. More F than Charlie.
More F than Charlie. Okay. Okay. It'll also be horizontally ranked as well. All right, gotcha. Good to know. Okay, here's your chance. Now you got to sell me on Jordan Peterson. Like I I would agree with what you said before. I think he is genuine. I don't think he's like really grifting that hard. I think he believes what he's saying. I do think his brain is broken. I mean, he did the whole like addicted to benzos things. And I would say he's funny sometimes, whether intentionally or not. Mostly unintentionally, I would say.
Yeah.
And based on what I've heard, which is very little, of his advice to people of like how to improve your life, although it is generic, it's not like particularly profound. It's not bad. It's not like harmful, telling you like how to get your life in order. Now, unfortunately, I think that gets co-opted by the PragerU people, and they make him make the like, never blame society for your problems, which is to say like ignore any and all structural things that might have put people down because that's anti-individualistic. But at the very least, like I do think that like the 12 rules for life, like there's something in there. It's not like some book about like how to like commit hate crimes or something. And I can't say it's like completely irredeemable. And I think you could, not you, but the proverbial you could like make this person not a shitty person given the right set of circumstances.
Yeah, 2018 Peterson. I would have argued, I would have defended to anybody. I did frequently. And maybe it is nostalgia. Maybe it is just a very interpersonal, like reading 12 Rules for Life. And like what I got from, and I heard this so much to anybody I showed that book to when I was that age, right? He's like, I was 19. I was like a piece of shit. And he gave me like, it was generic advice, but he dove deep into like why this advice is like why the cliche is the cliche. And it was sort of like this new perspective on this advice you've heard your entire life on how to be like a stand-up person.
Yeah.
I felt it had this depth that like I hadn't heard before.
Why do you think he didn't listen to it?
No, he didn't. He's a narcissist. That's what's sad is like he became his he became like the worst kind of the worst version of himself. Like he's a huge narcissist. It's very clear that the things he says almost like it's like he practiced them in the mirror for an hour before. Like the fucking line, like the up yours woke moralists,
Yeah, that felt like they're gonna fucking scream when I get them with this one, and it just felt so flat.
Yeah,
but it was funny too. It was funny. It was absolutely funny. Like we still remember that 3 or 4 years later. Like that's content right there. Like he might not know it, but he's entertaining in his own way. And like I could see like maybe I'd even watch his religious stuff, and just even though as much as I'm so bored by religion, I'm sure he could find a way to make me think it's funny at the very least. So
yeah, I mean,
and he cares. He cares too. That's another thing. I will give him this. When he was asked about like the incels, like, oh, Jordan, you're like king of the incels, and he like cried, and he was like, would that be so bad if I was? So what? Like, like as funny as that is, like he does care about the plight of young men. Like he does want good things to happen to people. And I don't think he really really dabbles as much in like the right wing, like racism, bigotry, nearly as much as some of these other people too, right? So like,
yeah.
All of that said, would it be fair to give him what, a B?
I was thinking B. I think there's a world where like he can't debate. He needs to get off of the culture war shit. He needs to like he's not a good pundit. Like I said, it's just Jordan in a classroom or like in a lecture hall, like just waxing poetic about Jungian archetypes. Peak. Like that shit's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Everything else he does is insufferable. He's a parody of himself. So I'd give him B. I'd throw Jordan in a B. And he's so impersonatable.
Oh my God, wait.
Iconic.
Jordan B. Peterson. I didn't even realize that. Yeah. All right. What's his middle name? Do you know?
Oh my God. I don't know. I have no idea.
Can you look it up real quick? Guys, anyone in chat know Jordan B. Peterson's middle name? I know J.K. Rowling is like, well, God, what is it? It's like Joanne. Is it Balthazar? No, fucking Jordan Benzo. Jordan Benzo Peterson.
It's
burnt.
It's burnt.
Burnt?
It's burnt.
No way. That's not a name.
Jordan Burnt Peterson.
That's like, have you seen The Simpsons? Like when Bart's trying to find his license plate and he finds Bort. He's like, who is Bort? Like, who names their kid Bort? Can we change B tier to Burnt tier?
He's got a weird. You ever look into like his backstory and shit too?
No, not really. Why? What's it about it?
He's from I think it's Fairbanks, Alberta, which is like I don't know if you like know geography of Canadian cities. Edmonton, Alberta is like the middle of fucking nowhere. It's so far north. They call it Deadmonton. It's just like a really industrial like town that was built like 150 years ago.
Yeah.
He's like 6 hours north of that. Like he's like from the literal middle of fucking nowhere in like approaching the Arctic Circle in Alberta. And like met his wife when he was like 15 and they grew up together. Like he has this very sweet, like innocent backstory.
He was corrupted by the right wing, you know. He could still redeem himself and become the champion of the young men. That's funny though. That he was like he grew up in the middle of nowhere. Do you think he just like sat there and like in his own thoughts, and that kind of like made him like in the same way that when people do LSD, they discover like different planes of dimensions. It's like him silently meditating in like the frozen Canadian wasteland was what made him so introspective, because he had nothing else to do.
I don't know, maybe, but I just there's a world where Peterson dies with where Peterson dies with honor. There's a world where he atones for his sins and dies as like a controversial yet beloved figure.
Yeah, as Ben Shapiro is lightning handsing Joe Biden to death, he picks him up and throws him down the pit on the Death Star. I can see it, Jordan. You can do it.
Tim Pool.
Tim Pool. Tim Pool. Where do I start with Tim Pool? So, I mean, he's so crazy. I don't know if you know his old backstory, but the idea that he started, like, he dropped out of high school at 14, got, like, you know, very inspired with Occupy Wall Street, like, as, like, oh, yeah, the rich and the establishment is bad, and, like, what did he do? Was it Vice News? I think he was, like, a part of, like, and it seemed like this could be, if you, like, took a snapshot of that part of his life, as, like, a person that was going to make a difference in the world. And, like, the fact that he's come so far as to be a paid Russian propagandist who, like, on his show will just so blatantly lie in real time, know he's lying, and, like, make his stupid smug little face about the lie. Like, it's so sad. It's almost, like, tragic. Because it's like, wow, like, especially with the beanie and the getup and the skating, it's like watching like a corrupted liberal, you know, like it's like the dark elves or whatever or something. I don't know. It's like it makes me really upset and angry, you know. I wish that he was a force for good, and I hate that he has such a big platform. So the fact that he is literally spreading Russian propaganda, and lying about it, and like, but also lying about being a liberal to try to like court people in the middle, knowing that he's not, and just like always weaseling out of the, like, a conversation when he gets confronted. Like, all of these things like triggered the fuck out of me. It's like there's specific people that I'll tell my audience, like, I don't want to debate them, not because I don't think I could, but because it just makes me angry just talking to these people, because they're so annoying. And at the same time, it would be hard for me to put him in F, because I don't think he's as evil as like Matt Walsh. You know, like, I think Matt Walsh is like essentially would like enthusiastically become a Nazi, whereas Tim Pool would not realize that he is advocating for the Nazis till it's too late, and then like play defense while it happens to try to like save face. Where so it's like ultimately the outcome is the worst, but one of them is like started off on there. So I almost want to like give him D instead of F, but I'm hovering between those two. What are your thoughts?
I mean, the Tenet Media stuff was mind blowing. The fact they weren't even given talking points. It was just, oh, what you're saying is good. I mean,
close enough.
He did, yeah, what you're saying is close enough. So we're just gonna pay you to like basically keep doing what you're doing. He's Matt Walsh boring, but yeah, I agree. He's not Matt Walsh evil.
Yeah, he's just like, he's a grifter, but he's not like oh, I genuinely think that you want to do the most harm to most people. It's just like, oh, you're selfish, you're a liar, you're self-serving, and I don't know if you really care about anything anymore. Although, I mean, like, you know, he has a family now, so I guess he cares about, you know, lying to make money for them. But yeah, it's hard for me to like if we started the list with him, I would put him in F, easy, because I'm like, I fucking hate this guy. He's a liar, he's a grifter, he does so much harm. But then looking at him next to Matt Walsh, it's like, it's hard to see these two people as the same, because they're not. Like, they're both bad, and they're both definite degrees to bad. And to an extent, he has a bigger reach. He might be like demonstrably worse, but with all our aggregate and how much I hate Matt Walsh, it's like, yeah, maybe he is just a D. But that makes me say that Patrick Bet-David should be a C. He's not on the same tier as Tim Pool. He's not as bad, in my opinion, even with the MLM, even with the you know, JQ shit, because I don't think it's as evident.
I'd move Patrick up. I think, yeah, actually,
you know what? Hey, let's just keep them both in D for now, and then maybe we'll see if I want to move Patrick up. It's just like, I guess they can both be bad in D, right? They don't have to be equally bad in D. They just have to be relatively spectrumly bad. Yeah.
I'll put him low D. I'm interested in because I have no interest in doing debate stuff, but yeah, that's sort of your you're migrating into the debate sphere a little bit, right?
So I've always argued like my whole life, and I like doing it. And I've watched so many like online debaters, so I'm familiar with like what they do. So I've just like started trying it, and I'm like having fun with it. I actually might go on Tim Pool this Friday. They were thinking about booking me. I don't know if I will,
Shit.
because like they're very chaotic and they do a lot of stuff last minute. But we'll see what happens there. It's very funny if like this comes out right before then too. But yeah, no. What were you saying about the debate sphere though? Sorry.
Oh, nothing. It's like I'm just wondering how it is because I'm very like I've my critique of myself. Not a critique. I know who I am. I'm too open. Like I'm not adversarial. And I know that about myself. I'm like an open person. I come from an arts background.
Mm-hmm.
I will meet anybody where they're at, especially if I talk to them. Like I don't have the ability to like break someone down to a debate. I'm not saying that's like a shortfall, but I don't have the ability to like break someone down to a debate. So I've always avoided it. Like I'm never in my life going to like be on a debate. Although I'll like discuss stuff, but like I'll never be on a debate panel like holding a point. Like I don't have the ability to do so.
Because you have to be like so strong in your convictions that you know them back to front and won't stumble over that, which is already hard. Like people are not already good at public speaking. You clearly are because you make the video content, but then like you have to be good at that, plus like know the ins and outs of what they could pick apart, then know the ins and outs of like their conversation, and then also be able to analyze on a meta level like what they're trying to do and what they're trying to push. And like it is a lot to keep track of. And it's like not 99% of what most interactions between people are, and to a degree I think it is, I don't think a useless space, but it is like sometimes I'm just in them and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, is this really changing anyone's mind? And I hope so, but I can understand not wanting to be a part of it. Not just if it's like, oh, I don't think I could, but also just like, what is this really like helpful? I think a lot of people have moved away from it. I just like arguing. It's fun. And I hope that people see arguments and are like, oh, okay, this point does make sense. Because I know people change their mind based on that. And it sounds like maybe even you did, like when you watched the Charlie Kirk stuff.
Yeah, or even like, I mean, I got into Destiny a little bit like 2 years ago. And I found like he ended up moving me farther left.
Yeah.
Than any person ever has before.
Yeah, it's very valuable to like be able to emasculate these people in their arguments. So, like I've watched Destiny since like 2017. So,
yeah. What you debated? Was it Andrew Wilson's wife?
Yeah, I debated Andrew Wilson. I debated Andrew Wilson's wife, and then Andrew Wilson came on that one as well. Those guys, that's another one where I'm like, I originally said like I never want to debate these people, not because I don't think I could, but because they're just so annoying. And like just like here's an example of it where it's like obviously like the debate bro, like, well, I win based on this technicality sort of stuff, where technically the prompt was like, is the death penalty a deterrent? And I came into this like, okay, obviously between the options of doing nothing and threatening to kill someone, the threatening to kill someone is going to deter some amount of the population. This is like self-evident. It's like I can't even imagine someone would think that that's something that I specifically disagree on. So me and my partner were like, okay, they're going to talk about, should we implement this? How should we implement this, and why shouldn't we? But she was like, oh, well, so you agree that like once they implemented the death penalty, like a little bit of the crime went down. I was like, yeah, I mean, if I threatened to nuke everyone for every crime, I don't think a lot of people would. And yet, like, I think we could talk about like whether or not we should do it, right? But like, yeah, they're just like, oh, actually, no, I win. You agreed to the prompt, and it's like, okay, like, or like, oh, let's debate about the definition of this word for like 20 minutes to obfuscate, and it's like, this is so fucking boring. Like, those are the debates that I hate them. Some people have blacklisted like debating them, and I get it because it's so annoying.
What is the Sorry, there's this thing in my chat. What is this little crown? Have you seen this little crown before?
I haven't seen it. It's new to me. It started showing up today, though. I don't know if that just means they're like the top commenters. They're there all the time, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's new. Interesting. Anyway, Ben Shapiro.
All right. Ben Shapiro. So he's a meme. I mean, like, people who have no idea about politics know who Ben Shapiro is, because there's something to be said about the squeaky, like, you know, little, you know, like I said, roller backpack kid. Like, he's got the like ultimate personality of right wing, you know, like everything I do is right, like facts and logic, like the whole persona that for some reason won people over, I want to say for like a year or two in 2016. Even like the like pundits would write about him and be like, what do they call him? The cool kids philosopher, right?
Oh God.
But like immediately upon like listening to this man or reading his book or doing anything for more than like a couple minutes, you're like, what the fuck? This guy is so deeply unserious of a person. but it's so entertaining. Like the voice, the like the dumb arguments, like being super smug but wrong. The kind of guy that's like, teacher, we you forgot to give us homework. Like the kind of guy that's like
Yeah.
the actually personified. I gotta say at least A, maybe even S. Like I like just for it's just the sheer entertainment level. And I think obviously now, by the way, he is a grifter. He is a grifter, like with the Trump stuff. So he is
Yeah.
lying about how much he supports Trump. Like he really hated Trump, and then like once Trump became politically advantageous to him, he's like, oh, okay, like I have to pretend like these things are good. I'm gonna run defense for Trump. Yeah, absolutely, like lying about that shit. So he's not as genuine as he should be. But like, I think one thing that would point to some like degree of like, okay, he's not like a complete grifter, is that he had that meeting with Zelensky, and he's like, wait a minute, like maybe this is good. Maybe we should defend Ukraine. Like he actually was able to like. I like how often do you hear a right winger say I changed my mind on this, right? Like very very little, and that seemed like okay, maybe he learned a little bit, like maybe just a little, like he's smart enough to be able to conceptualize the concept of being wrong, which so many of these people aren't. I like he's so iconic. I don't know, do you think S or A?
Yeah.
Or like
No, I'd agree. He was. I think we have the same journey with him because I liked him genuinely for a bit when I was like 18, 19, and then I would always argue, even when I like found myself just like disagreeing with everything he said. I was like, he's principled, like he's funny, he's principled, like he knows what he's doing. The Trump stuff lost me, especially with the yeah, like the like when Trump got back in, and his like undying support for Trump, even though it's like their principles, or like Trump seems so incongruent with Shapiro's principles, especially with the free speech stuff. Like when Mahmoud Khalil got arrested,
yeah, exactly,
and like even like Shapiro, he didn't even make a statement on that, I don't think, where it's like you think a free speech absolutist would at least address it in some capacity. Like he left it. He didn't even like talk about it when it happened. And I was like, fuck this guy. I mean, Trump has just like totally destroyed any credibility with all these people, but
yeah.
he's iconic. He has the most staying power of all these, or
Ben
the
Shapiro,
highest staying power
Ben
of all these
Shapiro's like
people.
a household name, like my dad knows who that is, and he doesn't know who any of these fucking people are. Like he I guess he does watch my content. Oh, do you want to do deep soy pill lore? Open up a YouTube thing and type in nuanced bro Ben Shapiro rally. This is his first ever video, and it was in Berkeley, and I was there, and he interviewed me. You don't have to watch all of it, but I just want to show like chat like the screenshot of this because I think it's funny. You guys can go watch it on your own if you want, but. Nuance Bro Ben Shapiro, yeah, and it's the one with like Jack Black on the thumbnail, yeah, that first one, yeah, and then let's just go ahead and mute it, and then like skip like I don't know 3 minutes in, yeah 3 minutes in, I saw myself right there. That's the little soy pill in 2017, no beard. Like, and I'm holding a thing, and this is like the anti-SGW like era, and I'm like, guys, like you can't call Ben Shapiro a Nazi. Like he's clearly not a Nazi. So I had a sign that was like things that Ben Shapiro has said that aren't Nazi-ish, and then things that Ben Shapiro hasn't said, right? And I was like, look, I disagree with this guy. Some things I do agree on because I was kind of like ideologically captured insofar as like, well, everyone's dismissing him just outright, and the left couldn't make good arguments against him, right? No, this was still woke me, okay? Look, I've got my HRC, I'm with her pin on, I've got my pink sweater, so don't say I'm not woke. It's just funny that at the time I was like, well, this guy's not completely useless, because I recognized that he could at least make an argument, but, yeah, no, that I just think that's funny, the soy pill lore, if you're interested.
It's hilarious that you're like, arguing the nuance of Ben Shapiro, like, oh, he's fine. Like, I'm here to argue that he's like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, essentially, I was like, well, he's not a monster, and this was still, to be fair, like this was after him saying like, oh, Arabs like to live in sewers and bomb crap, and Jews like to build because Jews are better, but like it was more of like, okay, this guy's just like a sometimes dumbass, but maybe he has a salient point here or there. But it's funny because in that video, and maybe I think the guy cut it out, I was arguing about the new Jim Crow book, and I was like, look, systemic racism is real, 100%. Like there's empirical data on this, and he's just like needs to do a little bit. He should read a book. But I'm like, at least he can like have a conversation and talk about things. So because that was like post Bush era where I'm like, well, he's not George W. Bush. Like he's not like stumbling over himself. He's not murdering people in Iraq. So
I'd give him A. He's too iconic.
A? Okay, let's give him an A. Yeah,
he's got to be an A. And I do think like if he rolled back on the Trump stuff. Because I do think a lot of these guys got big off of honesty. I think like Ben Shapiro got big off of like, I'm gonna like always argue my point. I'm not gonna like concede to anybody based on emotion.
Yeah.
And he did get big out of sincerity, right?
Yeah.
And now he's insincere. If he turns back to being sincere, if he like denounces all the stuff that's obviously incongruent between his beliefs and Trump, and just goes like, I'm just me. Like, I'm going back to like being Ben Shapiro and making like my Ben Shapiro points. I would have a lot more respect for him.
I guess, but don't you think, isn't that what Matt Walsh is? I think Matt Walsh is super sincere, right? Like, he is very authentic. He, like, maybe he did a little bit of a Trump grift, but, like, he believes most of the stuff he says. And, like, if Ben Shapiro's not that evil. Like, I think Ben Shapiro is probably a lot less right-wing than Matt Walsh in some ways, but, like, at the same time, it's like, okay, like, sure, you're being more authentic, but now you're just being truthful about the things that I think suck. I think he's, like, almost naive and ignorant in certain cases, and, like, truly, given his brain, the ability to graduate Yale Law School doesn't make you like some hyper intelligent person, but at least gives you some level of like, you could process and take in information and spit out new information. I think you, like, just like Jordan Peterson, you could make Ben Shapiro a good person in a world where like you had enough time and he was in a left-wing bubble and you exposed him to enough like left-wing consequences and ideas. I truly think you might be able to change his mind.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd second that.
Second that. And now it'll never happen, to be clear.
Fucking Steven Crowder.
Oh man, Steven Crowder. He just sucks, man. I remember I actually was subscribed to him at one point just because he would show clips of like crazy SJW stuff back in like 2015. But every time he would talk, I'd be like, I wish this guy would shut up. I want to see the crazy college kid. And then like he finally had a segment where he talked longer, and it was on A Quiet Place, and he was like defending it because it was like, well, it's actually it's an anti-abortion, it's fundamentally an anti-abortion movie, and like trying to like analyze it with this like cringe Christian lens. And I was like, God, this guy sucks. Like, why am I subscribed to him again? And I looked like, oh yeah, he made fun of this annoying person. He's not funny, but he calls himself a comedian. He tries to be edgy, but his edginess is like 1980s, like boomer edgy, like racism, where you're just like, oh yeah, I think we should call it the Kung Flu, like, oh, yeah. I'm not afraid to say Chinaman. But at the same time, be like, well, God, this person's abhorrent for saying the N-word, because like I have to defend that based on the like current way that right-wing respectability politics is at, and at the same time I'll totally say it right after the stream ends, sort of thing. He just kind of sucks. He's like boring. I don't know if there's much else to say about it. Also, yeah, like chat's pointing out, domestic abuser.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, like I know when I did watch some of his streams to see what he would say back in 2016, he had these bumper songs by a musician called Pogo. Have you heard of Pogo?
No.
So he makes these songs. He's like, I think Australian. He makes these songs that are like remixes of like Disney stuff, or like, samples like Disney songs or like old movies. And they're really good. They're very catchy. But then you listen and this guy's just like a super neo-Nazi. Like, he's just like, yeah, like bloody kill all the Jews, mate. And it's like this, I don't know if Crowder put him on the show because of that. He might not have known. I don't think he's part of the bumper songs anymore, but, yeah, there's a little bit of like, okay, what's going on here, buddy? And apparently he's so unlikable that the Daily Wire had to feud with him. So that's interesting, right? Like they had that like back and forth fight of like whether or not he was gonna like get a deal, and then it's like, oh, actually no, you suck, and then they like whip behind each other's backs and like talked all this shit. Like, so imagine Ben Shapiro thinking you suck, right? Like.
He does remind me of like a very archetypal sort of like soy craft beer millennial.
Yes. This man drinks IPAs for sure, 100%.
Did him and his wife get divorced?
Yeah, so he was like an abuser. I don't know if he hit her allegedly or anything. I know there's like the video of her like, screaming at her, like saying like, oh, you can't take the car to go do your thing, like for some reason like not letting her like, leave the house, like forcing her to do shit while she was pregnant, like, and like since then she's kind of like come out with some more shit about him. But then he also like abused his employees. Yes, this is the oh no Sam Cedar guy. So at the very least, like he's fun to dunk on. Sam Cedar had that fun like ambush of him. But yeah, like fundamentally, like the amount of effort that he puts in for the payoff is so embarrassing to me that like, I don't know, like it is just one of those like, God, you just suck, dude. Like, this is so lame. Like, it makes me sad Like it's more pathetic than it is like funny. It's more pathetic than it is make anger inducing. It's like, yeah, you just kind of suck, dude.
Yeah.
So
Lame.
what do we put that in? Because is it D? Because D is like really harmful. C is like you know, you're spreading bad ideas, but like yeah, I want to say C. I don't know, like just like perfectly mid. Does that make sense?
I'm like, what is he? Like, what does he believe in? Because I like you would, I think you would know this more because I don't watch. I'm not familiar with like the recent lore of a lot of these people.
Hmm.
It's like stuff that comes up on Twitter or like YouTube videos I watch, like secondhand sources. Like, what is his show? What is he like arguing for on his show? Is it just dunking on like SJW still?
No, now it's like it's funny. I mean, I just recently replied to one of his tweets where he's like, "Oh, look at the Democrats scrambling against the young men," and I was like, "Oh, 1v1 me, Steven Crowder," you know, and he deleted that post, which is really funny. I don't think it was because of me, but maybe. But like, I think he's just like a culture war commentator, and he's just boring. I don't know. By the way, guys, this is not like C because he's a better person than the people in D. It's just like he's just nothing. Like I guess right now C is the Canadian tier other than Jordan P. Peterson. Because I don't know if you know Steven Crowder is Canadian. But which is,
Is
like
he?
yeah, that's a minus point for sure.
I'm hurt, man.
Okay, you said because of the wife thing you'll say F, says something in my chat. And it's like, look, guys, there's a big difference between being a piece of shit to your wife, like a horrible abuser. That's bad. But then like Matt Walsh is like, I want to eradicate, you know, every single minority and trans person out of my country and return us to an Anglo-Saxon America. And I don't think Steven Crowder's that racist. He's just like annoying, stupid racist, right? So he's not as bad as these people. He doesn't deserve the same tier as them. He's just sucks.
I think this is where I'd put Patrick Bet David in C.
I
And then
agree.
move
I agree.
and then move Steven down.
Yeah, put it back in D. Okay, that's fair. I agree with that. Because
I'll
he
put
is
him,
fucking, he is harmful and he is really annoying. And Patrick Bet David's not worst like right wing ideology. That's fucked. However, absolutely hilarious face. Always looks like he's like completely dumbfounded. Super fun to make fun of, like impression wise, because he just does the same thing. Oh man, where do you put him? That's a hard one. I want to say D. But like just because of his dumb voice, I almost want to like elevate him to a C. Just 'cause it's so fucking funny. Like it's just like, what is going on here, Brogan? There are millions of Canadians coming to the country. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. So many of our political pundits weren't born in this country. Like I just love that. I love him.
He's a nepo baby too. Sorry, my lighting.
Wait, hold on. You got really quiet. Did you move away from your mic?
Yeah, my lighting setup just broke.
Okay, I'll give you a sec. Yeah, or I'll talk also while you're fixing that. Like his rant on the green M&M, like that's really fucking funny. Like he probably doesn't believe that. And by the way, he is a total grifter too, right? Like he like if you get him like behind the scenes, like he said so much shit about like how he doesn't truly believe it. I think with the whole like Dominion lawsuit, like yeah, first of all, like that got him to get fired from Fox, which is like you have to fuck up pretty bad to get fired from Fox. But also like I think he was like texting, you know, about Trump, or maybe it was about the Dominion thing, and being like, God, this is ridiculous. This guy's going to sink us. Do we really have to like say good things about this? Like he knows how bad it is. Like he comes from a place where he's like absolutely fucking lying about it. And yeah.
The Russia tour where he's talking about
God.
Yeah, that was insane to me. How you could go talk about the grocery stores in Moscow as if the rest of the country is like this clean, pristine, like not crime-ridden, corrupt hellhole. Where they took him to one grocery store in like the richest part of the country. And he's like, oh my God, America's fallen.
Yeah, it's like crazy. They have bread here. Did you know they have bread in their grocery stores? America doesn't have bread. Isn't that crazy? Like
I'd put him lower because he's really insincere, and he's done good at getting into the young crowd. Like he did the whole thing with the Nelk boys.
Yep.
Whereas that to me makes him more dangerous than someone like a Matt Wall or someone like, I don't know, like Tim Pool, where Tim Pool's not cool. Like it's like Tucker's seen as cool almost.
That's true. I guess the problem is like, you know, this is where it's like, oh, if only we had different ways to rate. Like Charlie Kirk and Matt Walsh are not fun to make fun of. And so I like only want to elevate him ever so slightly because of his funny voice, but he is as harmful as Matt Walsh and Charlie Kirk, or if not worse, for sure. I just wanted to put him in D because it's like, well, at least he's got the funny voice. But if that's not enough to bump him up the tier, if we're just on like, yeah, just based on how fucked he is, maybe we should put him in F then.
This would have worked better as a quad.
Oh,
like
yeah, like a
compass,
political compass, like funny or entertaining and horrible as a human being, you know, on either spectrum, and then kind of move it around there.
Yeah.
We could.
I'll put him in F, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's still fair. F for fair, because like, and even that like won't save. Like, no matter how. Well, I was gonna say, no matter how funny you are, if you're that evil and bad, like you should be an F. And yet Kanye is up there because it's so ridiculous that it kind of loops around to being good again. But yeah, he is fucking. I guess he's also really annoying. He's not funny all the time. All right, who's next?
A complicated one. Alex Jones.
I laughed just hearing him. This is complicated. He is probably one of the spreaders of some of like the worst conspiracy theories, like streaming some of the worst like conspiracy theories into like our government at this point now, like QAnon, like Pizzagate, Sandy Hook stuff, like causing all this like terrible damage to people. But at the same time, like I can hate all those things about him and the actions that he's done, but I can't hate the persona. It's so fucking funny. The gay frogs, the voice, the like just turning red and bloating and like, oh man, I want to say this is like a Ben Shapiro, where it's like he might even be more harmful than Ben Shapiro, but like, god damn it, he's funny. And he actually, I think, tries to be a little funny and actually succeeds too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say?
My friend was actually on his show for you know Oki's Weird Stories?
No. Should I look this
He's
up?
part of our he works at our studio here in Toronto.
Oh yeah? Oh, I think he just followed me on Twitter.
He made a big his breakout video was about, it was like a deep dive on the gay frogs thing. I think it got like 3 or 4 million views, and then Alex had him on the show and they talked for a bit.
Yeah, gay frogs a deep dive. Yeah, I see it. That's so funny. Oh, it just turns out that was actually like not wrong, right? Like there was some chemical that was making frogs like androgynous or changed gender or something similar to that. Or it was like the one time he actually like kind of commented on it correctly or something.
Fuck, this one's tough because okay, I think he's objectively funny and he is sincere, but.
Well, do we think he's sincere? I mean, come on, after the Sandy Hook stuff, like he walked it all back. I don't think I question whether or not he believes in the Sandy Hook stuff, but at the very least he knew that talking about it was part of his brand. But I don't think I think he's just like Tucker Carlson. Like I don't think he really believes most of the crazy shit he says. But I don't know. I think we got to put him in S. Like he's iconic, he's hilarious, like he's such a character, you know, like he will go down and hit, like InfoWars is so iconic as in stupid that they literally like parodied it in a Marvel movie with the like J. Jonah Jameson thing. I don't know. Like it's like, here's what I'll say. It's hard to be mad at him knowing how terrible that he's done, knowing that he's caused as much misery as he is and denied, you know, this tragedy and caused these parents harm. Like even knowing all that, I'm like, yeah, you're a terrible person. And yet, god damn it, you're funny. Like, you know, it's one of those you things. Like, fuck, like I want to put him in S.
It's he's hard to hate. He is, I think hard to hate is the best way to describe him.
Yeah,
he's like, absolutely hard to hate. Yeah. How harmful do you think he is? Like,
very,
in 2025.
Very harmful. Now,
you think he still is?
Know. I don't know if he's still harmful now. I mean, he is, but like as harmful as he used to be, maybe not as much, especially after all the deplatforming. But like, in terms of like, just obviously like, you know, I don't know if he literally caused billions of dollars worth of damage as per like needing to pay that much, but like he caused a lot of damage. He hurt a lot of people. He may or may not be partially responsible for that, like Pizzagate shooter guy or like any of these other fucking weirdos. Like he does demonstrable harm for sure. But the thing is like, you know, for every time I think of that, like, can you imagine like Adolf Hitler being like, sorry, I had a bowl of chili, I don't remember my children's name, you know, like what the fuck? like that's so fucking funny. Like man, yeah, like I want to say S, man. This is like for Sandy Hook tier, man. Like put him in.
Oh my god, or that fucking the picture of him on the random couch with his shirt off and the bottle of Jameson.
Yes. Or it's just like, I say this all the time where like I'll fuck up and I'll be like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of retarded. Like that's so funny to me.
Oh, you know, so did my chat. One we're missing is Osmond Gold. I should put Osmond Gold on here.
Oh my God. I was talking to Hutch about this. I was like, oh yeah, Hassan, he's like the biggest like political streamer on Twitch. He's like, well, Asmongold. I'm like, oh God, is he a political streamer next? Like, I guess we do have to put him on here though.
Yeah, he was the number one most searched YouTube term above like NBA and Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, we'll talk about him, but I want to talk about him next because oh God. All right, Candace Owens.
Yeah,
Oh man,
Candace.
what do we do with her? So she's an interesting one because like she's not smart. I don't know. Do you know her backstory? She used to be like a woke like SJW lib type.
A little bit, yeah. She got picked up. She's one of those people who got like picked up because of her transition into right wing, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Like, that was the story.
Of the grift, right? Yeah. So she did this thing called like red pill black, and at a certain point, like she like tried to sue a school for some like racist discrimination thing, like a very woke thing to do, some SJW thing to do. And then she's like, well, I can make more money just being a total grifter. So, and it's so blatant that they like made a Candace Owens, character in that, what's it called, the Dear White People movie. It was played by Tessa Thompson was like the Candace Owens. Like that's how mainstream grift is and how like on its surface is. So it's like maybe you believe what you believe, but like you're not interesting, you're not funny. You're probably harmful now, especially with all the Jewish thing and having a big podcast. But like, she just sucks. Like, it's just like, ugh, whatever. Like, it's very similar to Crowder in my opinion, where it's like there's nothing here worth talking about in my opinion. Like, I'm already done with her. Can we just rate her? What do you think?
Toss her in D.
Yeah, let's put her in D. Fuck it. Yeah, she's
I
lame.
agree. Although her podcast is, as far as influence goes, I think it's just still, it's so baffling that people have like the biggest podcast. Like Candace is a top 10 podcast.
Yeah, I mean it sucks, but that's where they are. But she's
Who
just
the
lame.
fuck is listening to this? I never understand. Like, I would listen to a whole episode for a video. And I was just like, who the fuck is putting this on? Like, who is just like, this is in their, like, 5 million people's ears as they're going about their day.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what's crazy to me is like I know people who have listened to Tim Pool. I know people who have listened to Joe Rogan. Well, Joe Rogan's a lot more understandable, but like Matt Walsh, Penn Bureau, and like I understand it. I'm like, okay, you have these principles. These people both espouse these principles and do it in a way that makes you feel a little edgy. It's a little bit like, oh yeah, like they're getting them. They're owning the libs. And I can see like the dopamine hit of watching that, maybe feeling informed. But then like yeah, Candace Owens, like who's this for? Like, is there like a house mom that's like, yeah, she's really good at attacking the Jews. Like I just put it on while I'm making the kids breakfast. Like what? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Because if you want the anti-Semitism and the skepticism, you've got Nick Fuentes. Now, maybe there's this intersectional point where they're black anti-Semites who don't like Nick Fuentes because he's too racist, but they like Candace Owens in the same way they might like a Thomas Sowell or like a oh God, who's the guy who ran for governor? Someone help me out. Jerry. Was it Jerry something? Not Jerry Nadler. Jesus Christ. I can't remember his name right now. It's the one that Dave Rubin talked to. Chat, help me. But like, yeah, these like black conservative guys who apparently like at the end of the day are kind of, yeah, not Larry David. No, you're very close. Larry Elder. No, is it Larry? It's not Larry David. Shut the fuck up. I think it's Larry Elder. Yeah.
Someone in my chat said Candace Owens is the only political pundit my mom listens to.
What, really?
Yeah. And then he said, I want to off myself constantly.
Okay, so I was right when I was like the mom demographic though, right? Like it's like the well that Nick Fuentes guy, like he said that black people are like dogs, and that's not very nice. But this nice lady does have a good point about the earth being flat. I mean, maybe dinosaurs weren't real, like the weird like just kind of ditzy, aloof, Midwestern house mom is kind of what I'm picturing.
Yeah, and she has that energy. She totally has that energy where she's not like she doesn't fit the hot girl right wing aesthetic, like the pick me aesthetic, right? She does answer to like a mommy blogger fan, sort of like, man, you actually fuck. This is a tangent, because me and Greg are super into like esoteric health shit. If you ever want like the deepest possible dive on I was trying to buy an air fryer. And I found this woman on a mommy blog. This isn't YouTube. This is like its own dedicated website.
Okay.
Who bought every air fryer on Amazon and like tested all of them in a chamber to see what fumes and what chemicals they emitted at different temperatures, and then found like the absolute safest, unequivocally the most safest air fryer.
Okay.
Like it's just it's insane the level that the mommy bloggers go to like find the health shit that even like all the esoteric like health bros on Twitter don't even do like that level.
That is crazy. What's funny is like I can imagine the crossover between that person and the same kind of person that would be like, "Don't touch my gas stove. I use it for cooking," and then like knowing that it like has a higher chance of carcinogenic, like cancer-causing chemicals or some shit. Like, but we'll do all that testing on the air fryer because it's the new technology. That is really funny though. I don't have an air fryer or don't use one, but if I do, I will reach out to you for the mommy blog rating. That does sound useful.
Yeah, I mean they burn plastic apparently. I don't know. This was like 5 hours of my life I'll never get back.
Okay, but it sounds like you at least enjoyed it. All right, Michael Knowles. All right, so I
know nothing. I don't know anything about this guy. Give me give me the full breakdown.
Do you want to watch my 20-second short on him? It's like the first short on my channel. This is for my Q&A. This is where I show myself for your channel. Let's go to shorts, and I don't have very many shorts, so it should be like on that first row. It's one that says Bozo.
Woke leftist destroys Michael Knowles.
Yeah. He clip chipped me, and I was up at 3 in the morning. I'm like, if you're gonna clip chip me, I'm gonna clip chip you, Michael Knowles.
Okay.
In your show, I see you often say that science is mostly fake in regards to transgenderism, climate change, cigars that might give you cancer.
Science is mostly fake. Even according to your own stated principles and premises, your arguments don't hold up.
Do cigars give you cancer?
Well, cigars are great. Do you think that cigars give you cancer?
I don't know. Ask Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, you can turn it off now. But yeah, so I've always viewed Michael Knowles as just like boring Ben Shapiro. Absolutely just as harmful as like, Matt Walsh. Probably just as evil as Matt Walsh. But like also not interesting in like a completely different way where it's like, oh, you really want to be as interesting as these other two guys or as like a Ben Shapiro, but you're not even close. Like you're just so I after the show, he invited me onto his after show, and he just started talking about like religion to try to like make a point about like first principles. And like I think like 2 minutes in, I don't know if you can find this footage anywhere because I couldn't find it if he uploaded it, but I just like kind of held up my hand. I was like, "Can I stop you? I don't care." Like, I just don't care what you're saying. Like, you're just going off on this, like, super, like, deep dive, like, religious analysis of, like, how morals work. And I'm like, I just want to know, like, how you know what to trust. Like, why do you think a car works when you put the key in? Like, how do you know that a plane will fly? And then why don't you apply that same level of rigor to, like, when the scientists tell you about climate change, when they tell you about this? Like, he was just so boring. But he does know his history. And he does play the ukulele, so at least he's like slightly cultured, I guess.
Oh my god. Okay, so he's D tier in the slightly harmful, boring, unremarkable, like just like a drag on society.
Yeah, D for the drag. He's unremarkable, he's harmful, but he's not good enough to be entertaining. He's not memeable. He's just whatever. It's like Michael Knowles is not gonna fucking remember this. Like no one's gonna remember Michael Knowles, I guess what I would say.
And then this chick, I don't know who this is either.
Okay, so do you know any of the backstory of Riley Gaines?
The transgender got usurped on the podium by a transgender.
Yeah, so this is the Leah Thomas thing where like they tied for 5th, I think, in like the nationals, and like that's the reason she's popular. That's like it. And like she doesn't have like good speaking, and she doesn't have good points, and she's famous for not winning and then speaking out against it. And like I guess I just think that's funny. That was worth like bringing up in the same way like Kyle Rittenhouse, like he got famous for like being in a shitty situation, but then getting lionized for getting attacked by the left, and not because they did anything. It's almost like cancel culture made them famous, and they're also unremarkable people. Like I don't know, like this should almost be like this own category where it's like you're not even a person. You're like dark matter that got created by like the existence of like someone else's anger. And like I don't even know what she sounds like. I don't know if she has ever made a salient point. Like every time I hear her talk, I forget it immediately. But it's just interesting. I thought it was worth bringing up the fact that there are these people that just kind of like are artificially made into pundits that aren't pundits and have nothing to say. So is there now? Does that get its own tier?
Oh, is Kyle Rittenhouse still like? What does he do now? I'm always interested in like what these people do after their
They become
big viral
millionaires
moment.
and then they like tweet about stuff. There was a Kyle Rittenhouse video game where he shoots turkeys. So many, like some of these dumb grifts. You know what? Maybe should we have an own tier? Could we call it V for victim? I want to do like the victim tier because that's like where she goes. That's where like Kyle Rittenhouse goes. Like these people that are like, well, you were the victims of like the left wing mob, and like, and then you just kind of don't say anything ever, and you're not interesting. You just exist. That's it. Like you there's it's worse than unremarkable because like at least these unremarkable people like are putting effort in and still failing, but you're just so like manufactured. Stop adding tiers. More. I got stop adding tiers and more tiers. But we could put this, I don't know if we put it below X. I guess it is like middle of the road, just lame. So yeah, just leave it there. The victim.
The victim tier. Okay, I
Son
have a lot
of
to say,
God.
but I got a lot to say about Sneeko.
You probably have more to say than me, so you go ahead.
Sneeko was a huge inspiration on.
Okay.
I loved his early work. I think like his YouTube before he did anything, when he was just doing the like 23-year-old growing up like well shot videos and platitudes about life. I thought that was genius. I thought it was such good videos. Very likable person. And I think Sneeko is my paragon for I reflect a lot of myself on this Sneeko on why I try to like not go too far into like debating and like really logical like beliefs, right? It's because like Sneeko's an artist. I've met this type of person so many times in my life who's just like they're so open, their brain falls out of their head, and they're not very intelligent.
Yes. Oh wait,
And
God,
he
wait.
just
Do you have the screenshot of him taking an IQ test?
no.
Can you just Google Sneeko IQ test? I bet it'll be the first thing that pops up. This is what like I didn't even know who he was at this point. This is one of my favorite fucking screenshots. Yeah, just the,
Oh god.
just the like just dumbfounded look on his face, like viewing the results. Dang guys, I got 95 out of 100 on this test. I'm fucking killing it. Like,
Yeah, he was caught at the perfect. I watched his rise. Like his rise was fucking meteoric because he made these videos. I'd watch every new video that got released on like just the Sneak of the main channel, and then he did the Schneeko, which is his second channel, and that channel went from like not existing to 900,000 subs in 6 months.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, just like talking about life, and then he got into like the meta commentary about his own success, and that's where he fell off. That's when he got into like, okay, here's how I navigate dating now, and here's how I navigate dealing with women now, and here's how I navigate money.
Is it true? So
very-
do you know the Sneeko lore? Is he a cuck and or a PDF file, as Chad has been telling me?
I can't. He ran defense for cuties, and that's why people call him a pedophile.
Oh, that's not
And-
good. That's the movie that's like it was like Lolita, right? Where it's like trying to it has pedophilic themes in the film, and like anyone saying that like if you defend this movie, you're defending it, even though they might be just saying like if the message of the movie was like being a PDF file is good, then I would see why they would call him that. But was the message of the movie that, or I thought it was trying to expose like the exploitative industry for children or something like that. I never watched it, but that's I remember there being all of this fucking talk about it back then.
I I didn't watch it either. I do know his defense for the movie wasn't that. It wasn't about like the overall message.
Yeah, that might be
and then
too
when he got into the Muslim grift, he argues like he's very like anti-age of consent. Argues that stuff.
Right, because like there's the whole Muslim thing with the like Aisha or whatever. Like they got married at 9 and consummated 12, and like it's like, oh, that's fine for this thing. And yeah, is he like also like what is the age of consent? I have heard about that. So maybe that does make it worse. And isn't his primary audience children?
Yeah, he's part of the like Aiden Ross extended universe.
Yeah, see, that sucks because it's like I think that's more harmful than like a D tier, because it's like, okay, like you have influence on the next generation of people, and your advice to them is first of all like all the Nazi shit, but then also like like women suck and they're all dumb and we hate women here, and also like age of consent, like it's just a silly thing. Like, and putting these ideas into the youth is it's so much easier to corrupt their minds, and like it's so much harder than you got to like do all the reverse engineering to make sure they're not like terrible pieces of shit. Like the fact that my experience with a woman might be tainted because they've interacted with a man who watched Sneeko at some point, or Andrew Tate, like that makes it so much worse, right? Like I'm more likely to run into, because it's not political, that stuff's not political. It's just like, oh, dating advice. But the fact that like I could run into someone and be like, oh, I'm scared of men in general because like 7 out of the 10 men I talk to are like Sneeko Andrew Tate watchers, and like this is how they treat me. So like I'm gonna assume you're like that until you prove otherwise. It's like, damn, like I understand the hesitancy, but it sucks that I'm being judged on the worst actions of these people being influenced by fucking Sneeko, you know? Fuck that.
Yeah, there's this really dark clip of him at a, because he does like IRL streaming, and he's at a baseball game,
Mm-hmm.
and like a bunch of like 11-year-old, like visibly like 11 to 12-year-old boys run up to him,
Yeah.
and they're like Sneeko, Sneeko, and then they start jumping up and down, and they go fuck women, fuck women, fuck women, and they're like dancing around him, and he looks at the camera, and like the horror of what the realization of what he's done to children that wipes over his face is fucking intense.
Yeah. I'm gonna say F. That's awful, dude. I remember that clip. That fucking broke me.
Yeah, he dude, I don't know. Gokunaru.
Yeah.
If you know who Gokunaru is, he had a really good, like a very long video on Sneeko that sort of like explains what happened to him, because it's also, he got picked up, like he got really, really big streaming. He was one of the first IRL streamers. He was one of the first, like the Aiden Ross wave. He was like the beginning of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got picked up by Tate because he was like, oh, this guy is my into a young audience. Is like if I start streaming with Sneeko. Mm-hmm. And same with the Imad Ghazi, like the Dubai finance dude.
Okay, I think vaguely of him, yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Like Sneeko just got picked because he's so stupid and so like easy to manipulate. Just got picked up by all these people as like their conduit into a young audience. But yeah, he's done massive amounts of harm, and it sucks because his art's really good, and I think he's genuinely talented. But yeah, he's just like I don't see him coming back. And he stopped making shit. I mean, like he doesn't make anything anymore. He made these videos that were so high effort, so high quality, and now he just does IRL streaming and does nothing artistic in the slightest anymore. So
yeah.
I can't.
I'm gonna shoot. For
and he did an MLM. He did an MLM course as well. He did an MLM like Hustlers University.
Of course,
course.
He learned it from the Andrew Tates of the world. So absolutely, enough there.
It sucks. This hurts me.
Chad asked this, and I think we can do this. Can we consolidate? Can we just drop S tier and put Alex Jones and both of these guys in SS? I know Alex Jones is not a Nazi. Probably, I think he actually tries to defend Jewish people despite all his horrible conspiracy theories. But SS tier has just got to be the the best of the best, the characters. So, all right, who's next?
Fuentes.
This is an interesting one. Obviously super harmful. I actually saw in one of my the video of mine that like went viral and like got algorithmic was the one where I talk about where I flew to this Arizona rally for Trump and for this Blair White thing, and the guy sitting close to me on the plane was watching Nick Fuentes like on his phone and libs of TikTok, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like I've never seen like a guy like that out in the wild. And then this guy like starts telling me his opinions and gets comfortable and gets a little drunk, and he's like doing phrenology on me and fucking talking about like, yeah, I fucking hate the all the immigrants and the darks and all that. It's like, yeah, okay, like this. No, yeah, you sound like a Nick Fuentes guy. So obviously incredibly harmful, getting more popular, unfortunately. Not really.
Which is crazy. I thought he'd become a lol cow.
Yeah,
honestly.
And now, well, the fact that like he was able to have a meeting with Trump is fucking wild. Like the fact that like, God, that sucks. And like now he's like trying to like get into Kanye. Like he's like the worm in Kanye's brain that is like, like, oh, dude, he's Kanye's Green Goblin mask. He's the nitrous. He's feeding him the nitrous so he can keep them all like brain broken and keep making him a Nazi. Like theoretically, Nick Fuentes could have used his force to good to make Kanye make Graduation 2, but it's not. He's doing it for evil. And he's not that funny. Like people say he's funny, and he's at the very least obviously charismatic on his show, but like he's kind of like I've seen him make like the anti-Semitic jokes, and as someone who makes a lot of anti-Semitic jokes, like they're kind of lame. They're not that funny. I think Sam Hyde is like the king of like edgy humor, and I don't think he comes even close to that. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say like he's harmful, but I almost want to put him in D tier, but that it feels weird to put him on the same level as any of those people. Not even close to those people. Maybe Candace Owens. I think F probably, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I'd put him F, and I think the Groiper, like the MO of like the Groiper technique has done so much harm of just like pushing like the intentionally pushing people as far right as you can just by like asking the confusing people, asking like the darkest questions you can. Like when he got big and he would like the people, his fans would go to rallies of like more center right people, and then he would like try the fans in the audience would try to pill by asking the question to whoever's presenting
Oh,
is like
yes.
pilling the audience by asking a
Yes.
question.
They're like, oh, like they're trying to talk about like dancing Israelis or like look into this Israel thing. Yeah, yeah. That sucks so much too. Cause like the I don't know if there's a word for this, but the way that they're like so smug about the I'm saying the thing I shouldn't say, and like they get off to that. And when they realize like it works for normies. Normies like like I can't believe like especially the Republicans, like even Charlie Kirk had to be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you would even attempt to criticize Israel that way and talk about like the Jewish conspiracy theory of doing 9/11." But like for people like me who are like used to that shock value and just are hearing it, it's like a kid saying shiitake mushrooms, to like get away with
Yeah.
saying shit. And it's like, whatever, dude. This is so lame. This is like you're harmful and you're fucking stupid and such a loser. Um, yeah, and oh my god, like the eating his booger or like hanging out with that like gay cat boy and like all these stuff that it's like so antithetical to what he would otherwise call like super degenerate. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it gotta
And
be an
he's
F for me.
he's half Mexican as
Yeah, the
well.
fact that his name is Fuentes and he's like a neo-Nazi, like, did you see there's that lady, it was some lady commentator, Hispanic, it's like last name Hernandez, and like a taxi,
Yeah.
yeah, taxi picks me up and they ask me in Spanish something. It's like, well, first of all, they might have spoken English, and maybe they didn't, but like the fact that you are fucking Hispanic is probably why they felt comfortable doing it. And she's complaining about that. It's like, dude, your fucking name is Hernandez, dude. Like, shut the fuck up.
You know what sucks about Nick's life is that he's like he's seen as like an incel pariah almost, and he hates women so much, so he can't get laid. If he has sex or like comes out that he's like fuck somebody, it destroys his image. But he's obviously at the very least like bisexual, and there's evidence pointing towards the fact he's interested in men, but he can't fuck a guy either because it also destroys his image. So he's stuck being like any way he goes to. Yeah, he has to be asexual in order to maintain his image.
Do you think I saw the speculation that the one of the guys that he may have had a leak with was Destiny? Do you think that's true? Because that'd be wild to me.
I
This isn't this isn't a condemnation of character. This is just wild TLC speculation, or not? What am I thinking? TMZ speculation right now.
I went into when that stuff came out. It was right after I met Destiny because I went down to do because Greg did Bridges, and I met Destiny. I was at his studio for a few days, and then I remember like after that happened, all this stuff came out. Then I was looking at the Kiwi Farms post. I read into it a bit, but then there was also a point where I was like seeing his dick. And I was like, this is a man I just spent like a weekend with, and now I'm watching him like get his dick sucked. And I
didn't
like,
say you got to watch it to analyze it. I'm just curious if the rumors were true.
Well, it comes up if you scroll through the forums, the videos autoplay, and I was like, man, this is dark.
And you were like, yeah, this doesn't look like it did when I was sucking his dick. Maybe this isn't him. You know?
No, it's way too big.
Well, I will say this. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Actually, I don't want to speculate too much on the drama of other people, especially like bringing up people that aren't here. So whatever, it's fine. F tier, absolutely for Nick.
I put him with the Sneeko. Yeah, and again, his audience is so young.
And while we're here, and we've talked about Sneeko and them, should we just like absolutely put the Tates in here as well? Because it's like everything bad we've said about Sneeko 100% applies to the Tates, and they're now like almost definitely like, well, not even almost definitely, like at the very least did some shady ass shit that is akin to sex trafficking, if not absolutely did sex traffic, and so, like admitted to as much. It's just that but worse. So we could just like easily throw him in F, right? Like, is there any deviation there or no?
No, there's no deviation. And the thing that drives me nuts about like when people talk about the Tates is that like the biggest if you want a gotcha against like anybody defending the Tates, right? Is that the Tates are openly like anti they go into like the elite pedophilia, like Hollywood elite shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has like unequivocally had sex with a 15-year-old.
Oh, shit.
It's like
all of the receipts are there. There's a clip of him from like years, like 2019, 2020 on a podcast saying like my best girl so and so she does this, and then 5 years later he's like, oh yeah, she's 20 now. But then in the first clip he admits to fucking her, and that it's his girlfriend. So it's like she would have had to be 15 if those like dates are correct.
That's wild. First of all,
yeah, so
this is not a pushback, because obviously, like, no matter what, that's gross. But like, did he do it in a country where it's like a really low age of consent to try to get away with it? Like,
no, Romania is 16.
Okay, so like even in the place where it's already too low of an age of consent, you still did a pedophilia. Like,
yeah,
it's like going to Japan, where I think like in Japan it's like something wild, like 14 or something, and it's like imagine like with a 13-year-old. It's like, dude, you're in Japan, like you could legally get away with one of the most abhorrent things and get with a 14-year-old. You go with a 13-year-old, like you get off to being even more illegal. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Yeah, absolutely F for this man. For these men, I will say.
Complete hypocrite. Has done almost irreversible harm to a generation of fucking high schoolers.
Oh, Piplap is informing me that it used to be 13 in Japan, but now it's 16. So at least they're, getting a little more progressive there. Thank God. And also they're
16 in Canada as well.
I'm getting a little pushback. Someone's saying Candace maybe should be an F tier. The reason I think we shouldn't put her in F tier, or the reason we didn't, was because like as harmful as she could be, she's just so unremarkable that like she doesn't even deserve like the ire of F tier. But I think we can leave her there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What's next? Russell Brand?
Russell Brand, yeah.
Okay, so what do you know about Russell Brand?
He was a sex and a drug addict, and then
and I believe a rapist as well, like accused at the very least, if not probably did, given his behavior. So definitely like sex criminal, like fucking weirdo. Like I don't know if you ever have you ever seen a Russell Brand movie, like Get Him to the Greek, or like any of those?
Yeah, I've seen Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah, I never like left an impression that I was like, yeah, okay, that was fun. Like, I've never thought of like, yeah, funny man, Russell Brand, like the right-wing grift is so palpable with him, where it's like so fucking obvious. The instant like there were all these like credible, pushy allegations against him, immediately right-wing grifts to like be like, oh, they're doing it because of my politics, and like now he's like wearing crystals that he thinks heals him, and like talking about fucking, oh my god, I don't even know,
the 5G crystal that
yeah, it's got to get rid of all the brainwaves. And I'm like, there's no way this man believes this. And he's Christian now, he's like doing the full grift. It's just so like, you suck so much, and it's like I can't hate you. This is like a Crowder tier pathetic, except you don't even believe it. Like, Crowder's probably right wing. Like, I don't even think he's right wing. It's like very much self-serving. This is like a Kevin Spacey coming out as gay sort of like grift, like, okay, whatever, man. Like, we know what this is about. And like, I don't get how he's a big podcaster, because he's not interesting either. He's not entertaining. He doesn't have like good commentary. He's just kind of like one of those I'm questioning the establishment things, and that's all it takes, I guess. It's like, he's showing us the truth. Like, it's that truth grift. It sucks.
Very obnoxious too. Like the in the same way Piers Morgan is a little bit, where it's like I saw Russell Brand on something a while ago, and just he can't finish. He never finishes a sentence because he's just always moving on to like trying to get the next like weird question, like got you moment. I don't know. I don't fucking understand any of these people. Especially the ones that claim to be fucking comedians. It's like they're not funny. I would say that about Joe when we get to Joe as well. It's like, just like, there's no comedy. I'm never like laughing. I'm never being like, oh, that was clever and like a sign of wit.
I might push back slightly on Joe, just ever so slightly, but I know what you mean. Okay, but where do we put Russell Brand? Does he put like, is he finally another C tier? Where it's like, you're not as harmful as like Tim Pool, like you're bad as these people, and like you're spreading dumb ideas, but like you're just so fucking lame, dude. Like, maybe he is like a Patrick Bet David. I don't know. Like I almost want to put him in C. Yeah. Wait. Let's do Joe Rogan, because I wanted to talk about this. Because I have watched a few Joe Rogan specials, and I remember like a couple jokes that I thought were funny. One of them, I'm not gonna like repeat the jokes and pretend like they're as funny through someone you already don't think is funny, but there was like some joke about like some guy like trying to storm the White House, and like I thought that was kind of funny. And there's some joke about like the Kardashians are these like soul-sucking demons that will just like turn any like suck the life out of everyone, and like that's why Bruce Jenner like became Caitlyn Jenner. Like there was just like some funny jokes that were like so absurd, and the way that he delivered them was like, that was kind of fun. That got a chuckle out of me. So I will say that Joe Rogan like has occasionally made me chuckle. But I know what you mean when you say this man is not like a comedian in the same way you might think of Bill Burr, in the same way you might think of like Louis C.K. Like this is not on the same tier, right?
Yeah. I'm always like, I was a huge fan of his. At a period in 2020, I sold weed, and whenever I drove anywhere, I listened to Joe Rogan. I listened to probably like there was a year of my life where I listened to every new episode of Joe Rogan that came out in like 2016, 2017, or no, sorry, 2020, 2021. And I always appreciated him. I think that I like the second Trump administration has broken everyone's brain. All these people just lost all of their any credibility they had of being sincere.
Yep.
Or being I don't know with Joe. I honestly don't know. I cannot judge if he is sincere or insincere or like has slightly drifted. I've always had a bit of affinity for him. Like I can't fully hate the guy.
I understand that. I agree. I think the format that he put out there it's nice that he's kind of popularized this long form talking to people format. Unfortunately, I wish he platformed more like, imagine like the perfect left-wing progressive version of Joe Rogan, who's always like, here's the climate scientist, here's the economic guy, like here's this, but instead it's like, well, I saw some comparison which was so true. It's like, oh, he's like the old like king that's like, like wise man, bring me things, explain sunrise to Joe. He's just curious about stuff, and whatever piques his interest next is the next guy he'll invite on, whether that's some crazy conspiracy theorist or it's like Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever. Like he's just kind of a dimwit, and he knows it, and he just likes to absorb information. He likes hearing about stuff, and I don't know. It's like it's hard to be mad at that. Obviously, endorsing Trump like is like, okay, fuck you. You have such a big audience, and clearly you're self-centered about the money. You're like so mad when people say maybe we should tax people, but then also open to good things where he'll be like, hey, Bernie Sanders is great, and like I like the way he's talking about this, and he's consistent, and I want these things and social programs. This is good. COVID absolutely broke his fucking brain, but one more negative thing is I hate that. Because he popularized that format, and by listening to these people, you will get a better education than nothing. Absolutely. You listen to a scientist talk about quantum physics for 3 hours. Now you know more than you did before, especially if you weren't studying quantum physics. But I hate that made people think, oh, I don't need school. I have Joe Rogan. I had unironically had someone in my family tell me, I don't need to go to college. I listen to Joe Rogan with like out a shred of irony. It was 100% sincere. And I fucking hate that. And that's not his fault, but it's part of the Joe Rogan show. So I'm leaning B because I think he's not a horrible human being. He does harm by endorsing Trump, but he is memeable. We've got all the monkey stuff. We've got Jamie pull this up. We've got all the Alex Jones content that he gave us. He catapulted that man into memedom in some ways, for better or for worse. And I don't know, he is in and of himself like a character. There's so much to be said about like, I think he shaped the culture in bad ways, in good ways, but he's not evil. He's just a big dummy. He's the Batman villain goon, right? And he's doing his best.
He is a bit of obviously I have like two. One says, where is it? Joe Rogan pretty much radicalized my dad, so I think he's a bad guy. The one below it, Joe also spoke out against the deportation thing with that South American, which he did. He was immediately out against that. So I think Joe himself isn't like a uniquely talented person. I don't think he's like dumb or stupid or bad. I just think he's like very normal. But his popularity is
exactly. He's the most normal guy. He's the normal American. That's why he's so popular, because that's how normal Americans think, right?
And he's almost like his podcast popularity is like an emergent phenomenon of the culture. It's not necessarily the podcast itself that's like this uniquely special thing that's gained popularity. It's like just through the rise of like social media becoming mainstream media, Joe's popularity is just like a byproduct of a changing culture.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I agree with that. It's not necessarily as much him shaping it as much as he kind of makes it happen.
Yeah. I'd agree with B.
Well, see, so I like him in B. It makes sense. But then I'm like, does Ben Shapiro deserve an A? And I guess I have to remember all of the memes and then be okay, yeah, he does. Because like I have to remember this isn't a like who's the best person list, right? Because I think Joe Rogan's probably one of the least bad people on this list. But he's not Ben Shapiro, unfortunately. He's not. You know, you can't do like a Joe Rogan voice would be nearly as funny as Ben Shapiro. So all right. Let's go. We're almost done here. This is great. I'm loving this so far. This is the exact spread that I would have wanted from this. Like a huge clump of people in the you're a piece of shit tier, and then like a couple golden little nuggets that we can pull out of the conservative movement.
Yeah, there's almost like a horseshoe here where it's like
oh, you're trying to plug the podcast. Okay.
So bad it's bad, and then it goes into like fine, and then it's like so bad they're good.
That's fair. That is a horseshoe. That's true. I guess I did say it does loop around to being so bad it's good. That is what's happening. So fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, Blair White. All right, so
someone I never think about.
So it's funny because going to her show was part of what like made my channel bigger, because like that's the only reason I was in Arizona and had that story and made that video, and then that blew up in the algorithm. I mean, she's a grifter, total grifter, obviously. Just the fact that she's trans and on the side of the people, like, you know, how could you possibly look to your left and right at Steven Crowder, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, who all think you shouldn't exist, and be like, yeah, this is fine, I'll keep voting for this crap. Also, like the content that she used to make, like I think I was a subscriber back in like 2016 when she did anti-SJW stuff, and I was like, okay, haha, you kind of like talked about this, but just like shoe on head, it was like so low effort, just kind of like talking to a camera and being like, this is dumb and it's dumb, and like maybe making a joke here or there. She does play the, you know, catty bitch kind of character well, of like, okay, girlfriend, like you fucked up, you dumb asshole, like, but she's stupid. She's really dumb. Like her commentary is very vapid. So she's, you know, nothing is more gender affirming than like fully becoming the bimbo. Like she is the bimbo for sure. And I don't know if you saw this video, but when I went and I asked a very sincere question, I said, when I go into like right-wing circles, like I see Matt Walsh, I see Michael Knowles, and they're like, I want to eradicate these people. And at this conference, you have said, we need to save the children because trans ideology is fine. I'm trans, but if they trans the kids, that's bad. Would you still vote right wing if those people won and would not let you live the life that you live? And she said, yeah. Just like no extra really thought put into it. There's maybe a sentence or two, but her and Buck Angel both were like, yeah, we would. And it's like, oh, wow, fuck, okay. Like, at least you're consistent. Like, you truly would let these people destroy your entire lifestyle just because you, like, we got to save the kids. Or you're lying about it because you know you can't say, oh, yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense in the right wing. These people want to eliminate me. Yeah, so she's kind of dumb. That's my summary.
You know, I watched off topic, I watched a shoe on head video on stream to react, and it made me so depressed. I took a break from streaming for like 10 days. It was the one about US USA.
I haven't seen it yet. What was bad about it? Was it the fact that like it was popular and it sucked? Was it like she was just so dumb? Like what was it?
Just so dumb. Just like the jokes, the effort. I'm like, I don't know. And as a YouTuber, right? I put so much fucking effort into what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing like there's also just the depression of like you have so many viewers and like you're just taught there's like barely a set. You're just flashing like PNGs on screen when stuff comes up. Your points are fucking vapid. You're also 4 months behind this topic.
Yep.
Right? Like that video came out like 3 weeks ago. And like all the points she's making, I've been reading on Twitter for like months now. I'm just like, fuck me. Like what a dark world we live in.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, where it's like sometimes when I'd be in really bad spots, and I'm like, God, is it worth it to keep going? I just go watch someone's content that sucks that has like 1 million subscribers. I'm like, well, if they can do it. Yeah. Like that is how I feel sometimes watching Shoe on Head. And Shoe on Head's funny too, because she like it's like, oh, I'm a liberal, I'm a left winger. Anyway, like now I'm gonna marry this like right wing Christian nationalist or whatever. Well, I guess she was married twice. I don't know. She's like clearly just like a whatever ideology is more convenient to me right now sort of person, but very very stupid. I'd give her a C. I would put her in like, yeah, you're harmful. Yeah, you're hurting the trans movement. Yeah, you're a grifter. But you're also like extra unremarkable in the sense like you've kind of fallen out of favor. It's just kind of depressing. Like it maybe even victim tier, I would say, but at least she does make content, so not victim tier. Like Riley Gaines,
I mean, yeah.
like, again, like Blair White at least started on her own and then became a right-wing pundit because of that, not, some dumb fucking like grift into it from an event. So
yeah, I do never think about her or see her on anything. So
yeah, okay. All right, this is the one I was hinting at from the beginning. I think Jesse Lee Peterson is like Kanye level S tier, like so ridiculous that like it doesn't even matter how awful of the stuff he says, because like how could you, like, obviously people take him seriously, but like first of all, like I owe him type 1 to end the deep state. Like his audience gave me that, and secondly, like just so many, like the things that he says, even if he doesn't like believe them, if he does believe them, I don't care. Like I just want to listen to this man say dumb stuff, like just saying amazing and beta and like just asking the most ridiculous questions, and like like the fact that he'll like try to get like serious people, well, he'll try to get like serious people try to address this like ridiculousness seriously, and it just doesn't work. Well, it'll be like Brogan, could you be honest with me for like 10 seconds? Do you love black people?
Yes.
See, you know the trick, which is just to say yes. But like everyone's like, well, what do you mean? Like all black people? Like I don't love all of any people. And he's just like, do you love black people? Like, it's just so funny. Like it's so brain dead, stupid commentary. Like, I don't know. Like he's like Alex Jones level for me. The only reason he's not as popular, I can't say, but I wish he was. I wish, my dad knew who Jesse Lee Peterson is. Like, he's so funny. And do you know what's crazy? Do you want to see something fucking wild? Have you seen him before he was insane?
No.
Go on YouTube and just type in Jesse Lee Peterson Bill Maher and listen to him for 20 seconds, and you will just be like, no fucking shot is this the same human being. I think this is like early 2000s or like late 90s, and it is fucking, I'm just like, no way. Like, so, because he might be lying. Like, he might be grifting. He might be brain damaged. But like, yeah. This is wild. Just like click into the middle of this and just like listen to him talk for like 3 seconds.
Early bald Jews. I've said that for a long time. If only that could happen, we could prevent these coups.
What are you saying? Everything should be equal.
Speaking
Everything's equal now. I mean, Jesse Jackson, I don't think he has any more credibility anymore.
It was destroyed.
I still don't think things are equal that way.
You know why? Because the black family is destroyed. And most black family is destroyed.
Jesse Jackson is,
most black people are lazy.
What?
Most black people are lazy.
Most black people are lazy, you say?
This is exactly like current Jesse Lee Peterson. Am I crazy? Am I remembering this wrong? Wait, go back a little more, because now I'm like questioning. I'm like, am I gaslighting myself?
Personal gain?
Absolutely. I mean, look at it. For his family, they have a father and a mother. His children have gone to the best of schools. But for the rest of black Americans, he offered them the public school system, governmental program, and that is to keep them down. Why not offer them the same thing he offers his own family?
See, that sounds a little more coherent to me, where I'm like, okay, like, yeah, he's having the same messaging, but like, by the way, when I said sane, I didn't mean like he had more sane opinions, but like the cadence in the speech, it's like watching like older Joe Biden, where you're like, oh, like he used to be a politician who gave speeches. Like you could at least make a coherent point, but now it sounds like he's like slurring his way through like an Uncle Ruckus speech from the Boondocks, which like it just so happened to be the specific part you clicked on was a lot more like that, I guess. But yeah, that is wild. But yeah, he's so funny. He's so fucking funny, and that's the thing too. Is like that wasn't that funny what we just watched, the way he's talking, but on his show now, the energy he puts in, it's fucking funny. So yeah, he will always have a near and dear place to my heart.
I can't wait to get old and just ramble.
It's just Grandpa Simpson your way through life.
Yeah, it'd be so much easier than what I have to do now. I have to think so much.
Yeah, just turn the camera on. Can you imagine when if we still make content when we're like 80 because we like it so much, and it's like grandpa rants about like I don't know, like the saying trans queen and getting canceled or something, you know, like whatever the fuck, getting crucified for saying that a gender is valid because it's actually 63 more genders now. I don't know, like I can see that happening. That'll be fun.
Also, we're ending on such a boring one. This isn't a good cinematic ending. It's just Dave Rubin.
Maybe we should do Donald Trump after this. That's a cinematic ending.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin, okay, he's like Tim Pool in the sense that he is a grifter, formerly left wing, turned right wing, took money from Russia, total like bad faith, but he's stupid. He's so dumb. Like just so dim-witted. And like I love that the Majority Report like kind of did their like, hey, every time Dave Rubin says anything, we're just gonna like analyze it and call it dumb. Because it's so fucking ridiculous. Like when he gets his like libertarian brain out, Ayn Rand brain, he's like, well, wouldn't it be cool if we had like Yelp for companies, and like if they did like bad health things, then like we wouldn't need regulations because people just wouldn't give money to the companies that poisoned their food. Like that's how his brain works. He genuinely thinks like this completely vacuum, like free market ideals will like carry us into a utopia, and just like can't like. If you sat down with him, or if you sat down with most libertarians, you can help them get to the point where they reinvent regulation and government. And they're like, oh, that's why we have that. I don't think you could do that with Dave Rubin. I think Dave Rubin would be like, no, but you don't need to. You don't need that because the free market. Like, I think he's that stupid, which is entertaining, but not funny enough. It's also pathetic. It's like, Jesus, man. It makes me sad that he was a representative on the left. And it's so bad that it makes me question the Young Turks, where like I never really was a big watcher of them, but knowing that they had him on and let him be a spokesperson given his intellectual capabilities is like, why'd you let this guy be your spokesperson? Like maybe he said the right things, but like couldn't you tell when you talk to him? He's fucking dumb. So I don't know. What do you think? Where do we put this guy?
Oh my god. I mean, he's kind of fallen off a little bit. I don't think about him. I don't see him anywhere.
Well, yeah, the money dried up.
As much as I used to. I mean, I've always felt the same way. He was always like, he was one. Okay, I can liken it to this, right? So when I was 13, I watched about a bunch of Minecraft YouTubers. Right, this is 2011, 2012. This is like the peak first wave of Minecraft. And I had like the 10 I would watch. And then there was the ones who were always on the border, who I didn't think about very often, but they were part of the extended universe.
And he was the
And then when I was 18,
universe.
and I was really, like when I was 18, I was really into the right-wing pundits. And I had the 10 I would watch. And then Dave Rubin was also like, oh, like once a week, I'd be like, oh, I'll watch a Dave Rubin thing. He's always been on the outskirts of like, he's not interesting. He's not compelling. He mediated a big debate that he had no business doing, didn't he? Or was it like the first time Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson talked or something?
Oh, maybe that sounds like something he'd do. I think the thing that I talked about him most was when he had Larry Elder on, and Larry Elder like. This is the thing that he cites is, oh, this made me right wing, where like he's so dumb about systemic racism that when Larry Elder just brings up these like very easily like, you can look these up and show that this isn't painting the whole picture of like how black people are treated in America. He's just like, oh, wow, that's crazy. I don't know what to say. And then he's like, well, I guess I'm on the right now. Like, and he really did hang on to the I'm a liberal thing for like a good 4 years. And you know what? On topic, he does the Joe Rogan format on his show, the Dave Rubin show, or tried to, but it was just so much worse because even Joe Rogan, as dim-witted as he is, was able to know, because he has that reality TV background, he knew how to get good answers out of people, or just because he's curious, he let that curiosity, bounce off of these people or experts or whoever, and let them keep talking about something interesting. But Dave Rubin was just so boring, just so lame. He's just doesn't know how to conduct the interviews well, and it doesn't get good information out of them. And he platformed a bunch of shitty, Stefan Molyneux, a bunch of neo-Nazis. So, God, yeah, I want to say C. You're hovering C, and I'm thinking that's probably right. But yeah, what a dumbass, dude.
Yeah, I feel the C. I feel the C just for the lack of very uninspired.
Do we put him in D because of the Russian money, though?
The Russian money thing's interesting because it's like on the one hand, you know, it's so ridiculous, like I said, that they just received money to keep talking, but they also didn't know it was Russian money. I mean, okay, they fucking could have. Wait.
So they thought it was laundered through a fake man named Edward Gregorian, who was like a Belgian philanthropist, and the only information they got was like a pamphlet that was like, this is Edward Gregorian, which was like, you know, the Russian, you know, a secret intelligence agent just like threw together in Photoshop for 2 seconds. And he's like, well, because he said like, well, I want to know where this money's coming from. And they just sent him this pamphlet. And he's like, okay, that's enough for me. And like, just fucking like took it. Like his due diligence was like, oh yeah, here's my napkin that says like certificate of legitimacy. Like, I guess we're good. So like, I could believe that he didn't know it was coming from Russia, but it is like stupid and dumb, and the fact that he's like, look, if that happened to me, let's say today I got some big sponsor and I didn't verify it, and it turns out that I was like, I don't know, spouting like like Venezuelan socialist points or some shit. I would have to make the biggest fucking apology tour. I would do so much due diligence. I would like have this huge apparatus to vet where this money is coming from and really ask people in this industry, like, how do I make sure this never happens again? Like, because I would be so ashamed that that happened to me. But all he does is like deny, and be like, oh, like, you know, I'm a victim. And it's pathetic. You know what? Okay, no. You know why he deserves D? Because he grifted into the right with Ben Shapiro and all these people who fucking hate gay people. And to his face, these people are like, you shouldn't be able to have the kids that you adopted. You shouldn't be able to get married. I wouldn't go to your fucking wedding. And he's like, okay, that's fine. I guess that's fine. So yeah, like, not only is he a grifter, but he's like such a little pushover cuck that he's willing to let his community get trampled by the people that give him money just to have some self-fulfillment. I'm going to say D. Like, not as harmful as, like, you know, the other people because he's too stupid and not as influential, but such a piece of shit and, like, such a fucking pathetic little weasel. I'm glad I remembered all this and made me hate him more. Someone says D for direct deposit from the Russian government.
Did you ever check out the when the tenant media stuff was happening, the YouTube channel stayed up for, or no, sorry, I was on Web Archive looking at the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Some of those videos had like 800 views. It was like clips from Tim Pool with 800 views. I'm like, you like, just the fact they thought that well, when Tim Pool was getting 5 million or 2 million, something like that a year.
Yeah.
Right? And like for 800 views is fucking insane. Like everybody I know in the studio was getting more views than the tenant media channel.
Yeah, I don't know if it was maybe like they thought that the tenant media part was just the way to funnel the money, and it wasn't going to be the influence, but as long as those people kept saying the things on their platforms, it was good enough. Or if they were legitimately going to prop tenant media up into something big as this big influential thing, but it clearly didn't fucking work, which is so funny. And they got caught. But the fact that like these people aren't like laughed out of the industry is so fucking annoying. Tim Pool hosted a Ukrainian debate that like my friend Wick was on, and it was like, how are you allowed to do this? You said Ukraine is the enemy of the people, and like we're spouting Russian propaganda, and got caught taking millions of dollars from them, and now like anyone has the gall to take you seriously about hosting a debate about whether or not their country should be invaded. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, you're such a little weasel. Oh man, I would have put him in F, but I don't know. Well, okay. Well, we don't have to keep switching.
There was also the in like some of the leaked emails when after that the concert attack in Moscow happened, and they were trying to tell, like, the tenant media people were like trying to tell Lauren Southern and Simple and the whole cast to blame Ukraine, and then they were like, oh, we feel there's no evidence, we feel wrong doing that. Like, they actually pushed back, and then they were like, no, just blame Ukraine. Like, at least suggest it could be Ukraine. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And just like bend it immediately.
No, guys, we tried. We really did. Like, I can't imagine I already feel upset when a sponsor's like, can you say this line a little differently? I can't imagine someone telling me oh, you have to say this about this person, because that's not who I am. And it would be so fucking obvious, right? Like when someone reads an ad, you know they're reading an ad because they're not speaking out of like their heart. They're just like, hi, I really like Joe's deodorant because Joe's deodorant keeps me fresh all day. And like the ads that are smart enough, the sponsors that are smart enough to be like, use your voice, know that the audience watches you for a reason, and they're going to like the ad that might be as funny like you or stylized like you. And like the fact that someone could come in and be like, hey, you think this about Ukraine? No, you don't. You think this now. And they're like, oh yeah, cool, thanks. Give me $3 million. Fucking wild. Like, I can't imagine doing that. Like, the only time is like, obviously there's a limit where it's like, if someone offered me $1 billion or says like something completely antithetical to my beliefs, there becomes this like utilitarian argument of like, well, that money could be go on to this belief, and my influence isn't worth $1 billion that I could put into that belief, like donate it to the charity or something. But I don't know, like that's crazy because these people were already so wealthy and they still did it. So it's so greedy and so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. It's dark, man. It's fucking dark. This side of humanity. It always gets me down. it always just makes me feel so depressed. That's why I stopped. Like I'm just fucking. I can't even do this anymore. This is just like, yeah, this is ruining my day.
Yeah, no, I get it. It really does. Like, unironically, I had it planned out. Like, I tried to plan out like a video to a head, and I was like, okay, after this Elon video, I'm gonna do something on Freedom Tunes. Who like he makes these political cartoons, and they're I mean, I have my opinions on them. They're mostly stupid ideology at the very least, but he has like some comedic talent, which sucks. And I spent so much time hating Elon, and I was just like, I can't make another hate video. I really can't. Like, my brain is fucking broken. So right now I'm working on a video where it's just like, you know, it's like attacking a narrative and not like a human being necessarily, because I'm just so it's so much. I'm just like, fuck, like it's a 40-minute video, and I gotta keep rewatch, you know, the editing process. I'm rewatching this part, and like I have to keep watching this guy do this stupid thing and constantly be thinking about how much of an evil person he is. Like, this sucks. It sucks that these people exist. All right, do we want to add someone to like end it off on a high note instead of Dave Rubin? What do you think?
Who is? I'm racking my brain. I don't want to put Trump because that's gonna make me sad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fuck, who's left?
There's got to be another character, you know? Like, there's got to be another SS person in here somewhere that I'm just like, how could I forget about this character? Chad, help us out. Make us happy. Find a conservative that's so dumb we love them. Maybe we haven't even heard of him. Maybe you did want to do Asimov Gold. Do you want to do him? Because I think it's fun to talk about Asimov Gold as much as I don't like him.
I'll throw Asmund.
Let's do Asimov Gold. Why not? Why not? That could be fun because he is legitimately interesting. Like, legitimately, like, I am baffled by this man as an existence. Like, how are you real? Some way. Oh, JJ McCullough. He's a conservative. Do we have to put JJ on here?
JJ wants so hard to be a conservative, but I've never seen evidence of that.
No, he's got like slightly right of center opinions on things, but it's like so far out of what the Overton window is now that it's like, come on, man, just accept it. You're a liberal. Yeah. You're one of us.
JJ just likes the middle class, and
it's so funny too because like he's talked to me about his evolution and like who like even like as a younger pundit and like reading certain people and like realizing now, looking back and being like, yeah, but I guess I don't really agree with them, or I guess those people didn't really make sense, and the reason they appealed to me was because of these reasons that were more superficial and not as ingrained with what I think now. Yeah, he's too smart to be as conservative as he claims to be. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get like forming. I mean, he knows policy. He's like lowercase c center right Canadian conservative, and I just like, I don't know, his crowd is like the Bulwark and the Hub and just like other nerdy policy, which is great. But like, even like, yeah, I never find myself, he's not socially conservative at all. He doesn't claim to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like his identity is sort of formed in that vacuum, but it's like that the window has shifted so much that he's just like, he's center left.
I think someone in chat,
or centerist,
Lady
right?
Gaga said this. I agree. JJ should make the right left me. Why the right left me video? You know, I used to believe in common sense status quo economics and social policy, and then they went all crazy Nazi on me, and now I'm stuck with these lefties because they're the only ones who will accept me. Like, he's got to make that video.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's also he's sort of driven by his disdain for the far left as well. He's just a centrist. Like he's a true, like, loves the middle class, loves the status quo, loves neoliberalism. And it's like, to the you know, regardless of the ire he receives for that, which I always respect him for, and always will, is that, like, to be that unapologetically anti-radical in every sense is, like, actually sort of a not a dangerous position to be in, but, like, you're not going to make friends, you know?
Yeah, because,
On the
like,
internet,
all
you're not
the
gonna
most
make friends
passionate
there.
ideas you think are too aggressive. You know what's interesting? I guess now that you've said that, I remember he did, like, have you seen when he went on Bridges with Destiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that conversation a lot, and they agreed so much. They, like, their politics, maybe not our one-to-one, but, like, at least their ideology was very, very similar. And I'm like, okay, well, Destiny's 100% like center left, if not at least like progressive leaning. So, like, if you're here, dude, like, come on, you're not conservative. Come on, JJ, get out of there. Come on. We'll get him. We'll get him yet.
He likes the Canadian Conservative Party, which is compared to American conservatism. Like, there's no, like, that. This is a little off topic. This drove me nuts during the Canadian election, is that, like, Americans who were trying to characterize the Canadian election in the realm of American politics, like, that sort of far right rural vein that's in the US it doesn't exist anywhere in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, the secessionist, like, libertarian, like, gun toting shit. There's, like, maybe some rural places in, like, Saskatchewan, Alberta, that you could, like, find that, but, like, that's never fucking existed here.
Yeah.
It never will. It's a non-issue, right?
Yeah.
Like, any Canadian conservative is still, like, farther left than, like, the Republican Party, and it's hard to, like, get that in people's heads, but, like, they're not analogous at all.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. I would still defer to JJ as the Canadian expert. But now that I have competing Canadian experts, you guys are gonna have to fight for for your influence of who gets to tell me what goes on in Canada. You'll have a group chat, and I'll debate it, like, whenever something happens.
He'd agree with me. We've talked about that a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, then there we go. Okay, Asmon Gold. So I don't know too much about this guy, but what I do know is fucking hilarious. Do you know who Moist Critical is?
Yeah, of course.
So I Moist Critical, I started watching in, like, high school of, like, freshman year or something, and he was so hilarious to me back then, because he'd make these videos, like, talking about these, like, silly, crazy, wacky games, like, you know, or, like, just do commentary over.
This is before he had the face cam, when he would just do the gameplay, and it'd be like, my fucking nipples hit the floor when I saw that one.
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
Yeah,
I call
classic.
this one the Titty Twister 5000, and I was just like, that's so funny. He's just saying a bunch of dumb stuff. In much of the same way that, like, Donkey could make me laugh by, like, you know, being so childish and yet so clever at the same time. Like, that's how it felt. And then I stopped watching him, and then years later, I'm like, oh wow, he's a huge streamer. I guess his shtick is that again, right? And then you watch him, and it's like, oh, hey, I just saw Sinners. It was okay. I'd probably give it, like, a B. Okay, that's it. Bye. And it's like, the fuck? Like, that's nothing, right? Like, maybe he'll make, like, a snippy comment here or there, but, like, that was such a vapid commentary. I'm not really getting, like, why he's so popular. And then I find out, wait a minute, there's another guy like this who does the exact same amount of vapidity, but he's also, like, the most disgusting human being I've ever found, and lives in his own squalor, and he's more popular. And that's Asmon Gold. That's fucking wild. Like, I have no idea who is watching this person. That's so fucking weird.
No, same. It's like I'm looking at a different. It's like when I for research into shit, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch, like, girl YouTubers, and it'll be, like, random. I've joked with this all on, like, Twitter. Well, like, their usernames are like Boppy9, and they have, like, 10 million subs. I've never fucking heard of them, and they have, like, 10 million views on every video where they're talking about, like, this aspect of TikTok is weird. Yeah, Osmond Gold being as big as he is, like, I can't grasp it, because I never encounter him in any other space.
Yeah, and like, part of me is like, oh, maybe he has, like, really good gaming takes or something. And something that's interesting is I just talked with Hutch, who, like, he used to be a huge gamer, like, back when I was in high school, maybe even middle school. Did all this, like, Call of Duty stuff, and, like, I heard that now he does politics, and we've talked now 2 or 3 times, and it's like, after that conversation with him, I'm like, wow, you're a very principled person. You've thought about this a lot, and, like, you are able to have these like intellectual discussions to the point where I get why you're in this space. This makes perfect sense to me. Versus like this seems like the complete opposite, where you are a gamer, maybe you have good gaming takes, probably not based on the way I hear you talk about anything else, and you're now dabbling into politics, and like every time I hear an opinion from you, it's like oh yeah, Gauze is bad or whatever. You know, it's just like that's it. Like you don't have like any sort of nuance, and like that would be one thing. You know, if Moist Critical was that kind of political person with that kind of political opinions, I'm like, okay, like it's weird that this person's popular at all. That sucks. But then the lore. How much about the squalor lore do you know?
I do know. Okay, I was gonna make a video on Osmond Gold, and I sort of had the same thing you did, where I was like, this is just like too depressing to fucking meditate on for weeks as I write this. I know it's like his mom. He was taking care of his mom who had a stroke or something, and then that's like how he sort of got out of sorts. But yeah, I've seen the pictures of him like cleaning his sink, and there was like a fucking wolf spider in the sink.
Yeah.
You know?
So
or the dead animal that fell from his ceiling. Did you see that picture?
Well, so let's talk about the worst dead animal thing. So he had I hope this is a joke, but I know it's not. He had a dead rat in his room, and any normal person would say, "Oh, a dead rat. Let me pick this up and put it in the trash can because it's making my room disgusting." But what he did was this rat would smell bad when the sun came up because the sun would hit it and it would roast the dead corpse and the aroma would come off and it would wake him up because of how bad it smelled. So he used this dead rat as an alarm clock.
My fucking God.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is like the depravity that, like, this is how the Nazis must have felt when they heard jazz music. You're like, oh, what the fuck is this? This needs to be excised from society. Like, 'cause that's the visceral, disgusting, like, right-wing reaction, like, that I have to hearing a man using a dead rat as an alarm clock. And then there's, like, all the clips of him just, like, hanging out in his chair, and, like, a cockroach will crawl over him, and it'll just be like, as if this is a normal appearance. Like, oh, this is kind of annoying. Holy fucking shit. It is wild. Like, I can't imagine how anyone, like, I'm not a neat freak, you know, there's like messes in my room, but like if it gets too dusty, I'll wipe it up. If there was like rotting animals and trash bags and food and like, I would feel like my skin would crawl, and literally his skin crawls when fucking cockroaches are all over him. And oh yeah, and the chat's pointing out where like his gums bleed every night, I guess, because he can't like he doesn't brush or floss or anything, and I think he like wipes it up and like smears it on the wall. Like he has like a blood wall. And I think just to top this all off, which is so funny, there's a clip of him like attempting to drink water and like gagging. He's like, oh god, that was gross. I can't believe people drink that, and like downs a soda immediately after. It's just like it's like I don't, can you call CPS on an adult? Like, I don't know. Like he needs like to have someone take him, like restrain him, cut his hair, clean him up, wipe the entire, like just get, like, you know, gas the whole house, do a pesticide thing, and then feed him like a vegetable every day until he's addicted to like a carrot, and see if he can like become a normal human being. It's fucking insane. Like, I can't believe. And then, by the way, forgot why we were talking about this. And then this person who can't, like, you know, the epitome of the opposite of a Jordan Peterson reader who can't even clean his room and get his shit together is now being like, well, they're doing politics wrong. The fuck? Why does anyone listen to these people? If they can, good point, Lady Gaga. If they can fucking do a conservatorship for Britney Spears, this man needs a fucking like helper. He needs a full-time caretaker, because that is fucking disgusting and wild. No human being should live like that. It's probably unironically like killing him very quickly, and he won't live past like 40 or some shit.
Yeah, I don't get it in like literally any facet. He's also, I mean, you know, undeniably probably worth like 10, 20, 30 million dollars, or like is making like that much money a year.
You can pay, doesn't XQC like pay these like full-time maids to just constantly clean his house? Like, how do you not, like, he could buy a new house every week and it would just be clean. Why not?
He wouldn't have to do, he could pay someone once to pay someone to clean his house. Like, he could remove every possible decision-making aspect to like live somewhere normal
He could pay someone to wipe his ass. He could pay someone to like literally sponge bath him every 3 seconds. But it's the fact that he's okay with it, that he doesn't change it, is that's so wild. Like that, it'd be one thing. Like imagine if this guy was impoverished. I would feel so much more hesitant to criticize this because it's like, oh my god, like this guy is like using like the last of his money to crawl his way out of poverty, and like maybe like we'll watch this transformation video where he becomes like a cleaned up guy, like, but it's the fact that he is like one of the richest people in this space and remains and like it finds comfort in it. Like there's something fucked in his head 100%. Maybe it's like a deterrence. Maybe it's like, I don't want to like he's like an agoraphobe and he's like scared of like real people. So by making himself like this like pig pen ball cloud of smell and squalor, you can like keep away. Even the police are like don't want to go in unless there's like a special hazmat team. I don't know. I can't. I literally can't possibly fathom like how someone can live like that.
I know, and then that just like the takes on top of that.
Yeah.
It was the same thing with like Shoe on Head. I was watching I was doing like a Mahmoud Khalil stream like the day that happened and like just deep diving it. And he released his like 2-minute clip that has like everything he posts, it's like 20 million views. And just him talking for imagine that being your life. Like you can just post 2 minutes uncut of you just like mentioning the thing that happened and it gets like 20 or 10 million views.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just so brain dead. I shut it off and I was like told my chat, I was like, remind me, like, never let me watch this on stream again. Like this is not worth engaging with. There's nothing here. Even to dissect it, it's like you lose if you engage with it. But yet he's the most popular streamer. He's as popular as Kai Cenat. He's more popular than Hassan or Destiny.
That's so crazy.
Or any other political streamer.
But like, who is it? Because like I might watch like an hour of this as like a morbid curiosity. And I can even fathom like the Sneeko people watchers. I can fathom like all these other people. It's like, okay, I get it at least a little. There's something. Even Jesse Lee Peterson, I've seen the audience like interactions. Like, okay, these people are really, really dumb. But like, if you're dumb, don't you still have like a disgust meter in your brain? Like, how can you take seriously a guy like while a cockroach crawls over him, say like, trans people are gross. Trans people are ruining this country. They're degenerate, and then like watch him like stumble over the 3 dead animals that just fell from his like what? How could you possibly like have these 2 thoughts in your head at the same time? This thing literally is like one of those I don't get it. I usually don't say I don't get it and mean it. I'm like, okay, I could probably weasel my way into figuring this out. This is one I'm genuinely baffled by.
Yeah.
Can we put him in X tier? Because he now wants to do an exclusive streaming thing with Elon Musk, and he is not nearly as harmful and terrible as Elon Musk, but it's like you're such a fucking disgusting freak that I think at least you belong next to him.
Yeah, put him in the nightmare zone, the black void.
Banish him into the X realm, the shadow realm.
Oh fuck me, man.
This is a lot of fun. I liked this. I really do feel like this has allowed me to summarize and encapsulate and reflect on the past 10 to 15 years of watching this brain rot and really see how far we've come. This is a good list. And I'm out of context. Someone looks at this. I'm very curious what they'll think.
I know it's.
Actually, that's a good idea. Can you just download this JPEG and just send it to JJ and don't say what it is, or just say thoughts. Just say thoughts ? There
you go.
This is the silver lining of being in this space, is like whenever all these terrible people exist, like imagine if everyone was the D tier, right? How much it would suck that the people that are destroying our lives also are boring. You know, like it sucks that Elon Musk is like has all this power, but like the silver lining of Trump is like you're making my life so horrible. But god damn it, I can laugh at least, you know. I'd rather be laughing at the gallows than just bored at the gallows. It's a nice little comfort in these troubled times that these people are so entertainingly stupid. I hope you enjoyed.
I'm just always surprised that it's still I'm surprised it gets worse, you know. I'm always surprised that it just keeps getting worse. I always think like, man, you know, I've gone on a journey. I've grown up. Like I've become a man. I've like figured out how to think about the world in some capacity that isn't like completely idiotic. I feel like, you know, slightly competent. I'm like, okay, maybe we're heading down that path, and then it just gets worse. It's like worse than it ever was now. There's the grift is just is unstoppable, and I don't see how any of this goes away. At least, though, I've noticed that like you're a good example of this, but like a ton of good left of center creators have like risen. Like they're at their peak right now because they're opposing the current regime. They're like the right wing is the mainstream, right?
Yeah.
And now that you can be left of center and sound a little bit edgy at the same time because you're opposing what is mainstream, you're opposing the status quo. That's like the silver lining, is that like you're seeing this common sense arise out of all the nonsense that I don't think would have been there without the nonsense.
Yeah,
So,
I in some way probably do owe my current popularity to Trump. I hope this isn't my peak though. And I hope that my peak isn't reached because we get even more right-wing content. That would be even worse. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. That does help for a degree. But yeah.
I mean, the fact that somebody can say like, oh, scientific institutions are mostly good, and then receive ire from every fucking corner of the political spectrum, right?
Whatever, nerd. Give him the fucking locker.
Yeah.
Go read a fucking science book.
Anyway, I'm gonna log off. I can only go for like 3 hours before I get so antsy I have to go outside.
Yeah, no, that's probably a smart thing. I went for 9 hours on Monday. It was pretty wild. But yeah, hey, thanks for this. This was awesome. It was great to meet you. I'm very excited to meet you in person. We should go to the gym. Let's get you back into it 100%. Oh, and I don't know. I'm floating the idea of doing a Canadian trip. I don't know if I'll make it to Vancouver in said trip, but obviously I should if I'm doing that, because I like way back when J-Reg was like, "Oh, come to the studio, come say hi."
Oh, we're in Toronto.
Toronto, Vancouver. Sorry, I've mixed them up. Yes, Toronto. I'm going to Vancouver. I want to fit Toronto into there at some point. So I don't know what your guys' schedule is, but I'll try to coordinate, see if something cool could work out, if it could. So
I mean, I'm at the studio right now. I'm here. Me and Greg and a assortment of characters are here pretty much every day. There's a couch to crash on if it's like a few days, like to just crash on it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone would like to have you. So totally swing by. That's why we do that. That's why we have the studios. It just, we end up getting, meeting people, and it just gives a central hub for like anybody coming to Canada can come here and meet like 20 YouTubers who are all kind of aligned doing the same thing.
yeah, I need to do some sort of like in-person co-working thing, because like editing all day is making me so lonely. It's the one downside of now doing this as my dream job. So I need like or just like a bunch of cats. That's a little more depressing, but
You're in SF. Everybody wants to co-work there.
well, no, I'm technically I'm 30 minutes south, and I don't know any like SF creators. The only one I know is one that JJ is going to introduce me to, is like the carpentry guy. Forgot his name.
Oh yeah, Steve Ramsey.
Steve. But like I don't know if he has a co-working space. But yeah, I gotta get all the young I look at your guys' studio. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like fun. I gotta do something like that. Maybe I gotta move to LA or something. So yeah. All right, awesome. Thanks so much, dude. Great to meet you, Brogan, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Nils. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
Ciao.